shelters to help. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
For over a decade, SimpliSafe has revolutionized home security, and our latest advancement is here, 24/7 LiveGuard protection, only from SimpliSafe. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplisafe.com/radio. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
The step down to fall continues, and it's going to be pure fall over the weekend. Still some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder around this afternoon, 72. An early evening shower, otherwise clearing skies, 52. Friday, lots of sunshine, windy. Some puffy fair weather clouds dot the afternoon sky, 68. 42 Friday night, 62 for the high Saturday, and 68 on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The IRS definitely ramped up operations since the pandemic slowed them down, and activity only increases from here. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. If you're currently under audit or you haven't paid your taxes in the past, now's the time to call the Lance Drury Law Firm. The IRS has a published Taxpayer Bill of Rights, which says you have the right to retain legal representation, because IRS problems are legal problems, and the Lance Drury Law Firm focuses specifically on addressing IRS issues for our clients. It's all we do. We get out in front of the IRS, devise the best resolution plan, and work to make sure you're able to take advantage of every program you're qualified to receive. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure company, call the Lance Drury Law Firm. We're local, located right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURYlaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Drury Law Firm, 314-238-7360.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
When you are going to rulerfoods.com, you are looking to find the Ruler Foods closest to you. It's a smart move. Ruler Foods, in participation with the USO, is going to be collecting donations for Scott Air Force Base October 1st through the 6th at the Fairview Heights location. The USO will be at the Fairview Heights location from October 6 from 1 to 6 p.m. Make sure that you go there to check out how you can help. And I'm telling you what, every time you go to Ruler Foods, you're going to save on the things that you normally purchase elsewhere. You're going to get it for less at Ruler Foods. Let's talk about some of the great sale deals that they have right now. They've got a 99-cent sale, so under $1. Big K 2 liters or Kroger gallon drinking water, 99 cents. Always a good thing to stock up on drinking water. Brooks chili beans, 99 cents. Campbell's SpaghettiOs, crowd favorite in the Fry House, 99 cents. Martha white muffin mix or snack pack pudding, 99 cents. And Kroger bagels or pecan sweet rolls, 99 cents. Save on the brands that you love and get those Kroger brands at Ruler Foods prices. All you got to do to find the one closest to you is go to rulerfoods.com.
Hey, it's Bo Matthews, and Missouri Brush Control is helping landowners reclaim their property with forestry mulching. If invasive plants and trees have overtaken your land, Missouri Brush Control will mulch vegetation where it stands with specialized equipment that is efficient and eco-friendly. Selective land clearing like this can help you maximize your property's value. Enjoy your land like you've always dreamed of. Check out our website or Facebook page for before and after photos and videos of our projects. Learn more at MissouriBrushControl.com. That's MissouriBrushControl.com.
Exergen thermometers are a top choice of medical professionals at highly ranked hospitals across the U.S. Accuracy matters, so make Exergen the chosen thermometer for your home and family. Available at Walmart and other participating retailers. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Together Credit Union is the official banking partner of St. Louis City SC, which means Together Credit Union is the only place to find the official City SC debit card, which comes with special perks. There's no cost for the City SC debit card, so don't wait and sign up today online at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
And they have no case. And today, if you read the New York Law Journal, they basically say they have no case against Trump. But I'm here, stuck here, and I can't campaign. I'd rather be right now in Iowa. I'd rather be in New Hampshire or South Carolina or Ohio or a lot of other places, but I'm stuck here because I have a corrupt attorney general that communicates with the DOJ in Washington to keep me nice and busy because I'm leading Biden in the polls by a lot.
Mr.
That's all
why
this
did
is.
you want
This is election interference. They made up a fake case. They're fraudulent people. And the judge already knows what he's going to do. He's a Democrat judge. In all fairness to him, he has no choice. He has no choice.
So President Trump speaking there about the wrongdoing against him, keeping him there in that courtroom where he should be campaigning and he's not. That's his case. I wonder how much you agree with that. Do you think that it's intentionally done to interfere with the election? Do you think that the people doing this have the right motives in place? We'll talk to Hans von Spakovsky about it at 12:25. Plus, the not guilty plea from Hunter Biden earlier. And, being a constitutional expert that Hans von Spakovsky is, I'm going to ask him about the unprecedented nature of the speaker removal. Brad, I'm hearing people talking about the speaker removal from the other side of the aisle for the most part, who are very, this phrase is overused in conservative talk radio, but pearl clutchy. It's an appropriate use of it. Yeah. They're just aghast at this. This has never happened before in American history. And the Republicans can't seem to understand the purpose of funding the government and suggesting that the only reason that Matt Gaetz did what he did was because he was angry that McCarthy funded the government.
Yeah, it's just lying and propaganda from the Democratic side. They want to mislead the American public and try to paint a picture of the Republic. It's all about politics. They know what the real deal is. They're not stupid. They're in those same hallways. They hear the same conversations. They know Matt Gaetz, all of these other things. They know what Matt Gaetz's objectives were, more or less, and they know what the Republicans' objectives are. But what they need to do is shape what the people think of the Republicans' objectives. So they go out there and they say, well, they didn't want to fund the government. They wanted to defund everything. So that shapes the election coming up. It's like, well, you don't want to put these people in here because they'll make sure that the government doesn't function.
It's amazing to pull up the U.S. debt clock, usdebtclock.org, if you want to look at the one I'm looking at right now, and watch the United States debt go up $1 million. I'm going to guess here every maybe 15 seconds.
Jeez.
Every 15 seconds that passes, it goes up $1 million. It towers up to $33 trillion, $476 billion, $341 million, 300,000, 400,000, and 500,000. This is real time here, folks. 600,000. This is how fast the national debt is going up. What I hear people saying about the unprecedented action that was taken by the Republicans in the House this week, is that the only unprecedented action that they care about? Because $33 trillion, $33.5 trillion, that's unfreaking precedented and problematic.
Yeah.
But we don't talk about that at all.
Well, no. It's all politics. What is that? What is a big part of that debt? It's a way of getting people to vote for you to put you back in office. This isn't just a Democrat thing. This is a Republican thing, too. This is why omnibus bills are so popular, because it's a way that a representative can get some funding for some sort of project in their district. So, and I think this is why Matt Gaetz was so big on the individualized spending bills. If with an individualized spending bill, we're saying, hey, we're going to fund the military. We're going to give them this much money, yes or no, and you vote up or down. In an omnibus bill, We're going to throw the military funding in there. I need this much money for the military. Annie, what do I need from you to get you to vote yes? You're like, well, I need this much money for this project in my district.
Yep.
Sounds great. We write that in there. Okay, so to get what I want passed, I'm giving you what you want. And so that goes in the omnibus bill. That causes the debt to go up. What Gates is arguing for, and those 8 Republicans are arguing for, is that, hey, I want to fund this government. I want to give the military this much. And you're like, I can't allow you to have that much money. Well, how much money on the military are you willing to give? And then we negotiate on what your pet projects, say the Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid. We need to spend this much on that. Well, if I take this much out of this, will you take that much out of that? And then that actually drives the spending down. So rather than giving you what you want and I get what I want, we both settle for a little bit less than what we want, and that's actually better for the American people. That's the argument.
STL comments, like the saying goes, timing is everything. The national debt is awful, but there's a time for everything. Matt Gaetz demonstrated irrevocably that he has no timing sense or a Manchurian candidate. I agree with everything that he's saying there. And this is where it's complicated, because if I'm listening to an interview or if I'm listening to someone comment who is from center left or maybe further left, I don't know where they fall on the spectrum, but they certainly weren't speaking, in my opinion, on on behalf of the American people, what the American people should expect and demand. You have to create a very simple dichotomy of if this, then that, or this or that. And you have to know where the line is drawn. You have to understand that this is different than that, and you must choose. And when you separate those two things, you have to make sure that the thises know what to think about the that's.
Yeah.
And that the that's know what to think about the thises. And so the argument from this kind of swampy, this is the way we do government, and this is how things are supposed to function, and the Republicans threw a big wrench in the system, and now it's a mess. I have a problem with the phrase, now it's a mess.
Yeah.
No, it was a freaking mess. It's a disaster, and the status quo it's not sufficient. It needs to change. But then you can't, on the flip side, just be Matt Gaetz and just, throw a wrench into the middle of the system, wing it in there, muck up the whole thing, and then be like, it was bad before. It might be bad now. But I mean, literally, Matt Gaetz' response is like, I'm the one holding up government. And then he starts explaining all of the different times where government is slowed to a screeching halt and they haven't done what they're supposed to do. And it's like, what if both are true?
Mm.
But we don't have those are complicated conversations, because in that instance, someone might not be thrilled with what Matt Gaetz did. And then someone's going to hear like, oh, so you're opposed to Matt Gaetz. And it's like, well, let's talk about this. Well, nobody wants to listen. Everybody wants to bark. It's coming at your throat with a knife and going, are you for Matt Gaetz or are you against it? Which is kind of how we asked the Trump question the other day.
Yeah.
Are you team Trump? That question comes with a little bit of aggression behind it, which is how everybody would hear that question. But I think you can honestly ask people, what do you think about Donald Trump? Are you team Trump? And then you can have that conversation without a bunch of accusations and assumptions precluding whatever it is that they may or may not answer when they answer that question. Are you for the status quo, the Kevin McCarthy way of doing business in the House? I am not. But I am somebody who wants to know what the alternative is, the effective alternative is, before I say, duh, this is bad, burn it down. I need to know the next place we're going. And I don't feel like we know that yet. And I also don't think if the Republicans solve this in a week and we have somebody in there who everybody is behind more than ever. No, we never had a time when everyone was behind Kevin McCarthy. Matt Gaetz didn't feel like he lost that first round, but he sure didn't feel like he won. That's why he did what he did this week. So what's the desired outcome? Is it unity for the Republican Party? Is it even possible to achieve that? I don't know. We didn't have unity before, though. So it's not like now we're really broken apart. It's complicated. There are gray areas. And anybody who is coming at you from either the left or the right with this kind of litmus test where it's a yes or no answer, are you on Team Gates or are you on Team McCarthy? This is what we asked earlier. There has to be a third option that's like, I'm not either. Kind of like Team Me, Team American People. And I don't know if either of these two individuals are where they are right now because they're focused on me. Kind of feels like maybe they focused on themselves. I don't know. It's hard to go have this conversation anywhere without so much judgment oozing from the people who are articulating the conversation. The one thing that I can say, though, about the Kevin McCarthy, Matt Gaetz chaos this week is that I've seen more people who have said, I kind of like where Matt Gaetz was going with this, but I'm not really loving the Matt Gaetz portion of it. Which means that the Republican Party is still looking for a leader that brings everyone together. It's not Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not going to amass all of the support that he needs to win on his own. It might be Ron DeSantis when Ron DeSantis gets out of the race, assuming he gets out of the race, whether it's before, I think it's December 12th, off the top of my head, is when he could, up until December 12th, he could not have his name be on the ballot in Florida for the primary. And the idea is that if he were going to drop out, he wouldn't want to lose Florida. As the governor of Florida, he wouldn't want to lose Florida. That's what the Trump campaign is saying. We're going to watch the people who are in the race to be the president, who are likely not going to be the nominee. It's probably going to be Donald Trump, but who knows what's going to happen next. We're going to watch the Republican Party make active decisions as to whether or not we really want to unite against what is really hurting the future of our republic, and that is the far leftist ideals of the progressive wing of the Democratic Party. Because there are a lot of common sense Democrats, I think, out there right now that are somewhere in the middle who are completely disgusted with the way things are moving right now, who would consider voting for somebody other than Joe Biden should he be the nominee for the Democrats. Donald Trump is going to need help bringing in every vote he possibly can so that he can win the general election in November 2024. He's not going to be able to do it by himself. I hope that we see it. And I don't know so much that what's going on in the House right now is real. It's kind of interesting that it's not really about Trump. It's more about the soul of the Republican Party. What we can't have are populist individuals who have noticed that there is a very bright, shining spotlight that they can thrust themselves into, who seek out those opportunities to bathe in the bright lights of politics. We need to have people who are potentially populist, potentially conservatives, who know what it takes to get the job done and who are willing to do the hard work in public, in front of everybody, and also behind the scenes to bring people together. I'm really kind of getting tired of this comparison of like, the Democrats are able to do it. How come the Democrats are always able to do it? We do not want to do business the way the Democrats do business. That's how we got here with omnibus bills. That's how we got everybody gets a little something, something on behalf of the American taxpayer to get done all of the things that they can throw out in campaign commercials next time the election season comes around. And for some reason, things don't ever get any better. We can't be like them. We have to be better than them. And that is hard, but it's worth it. The YouTube live chat poll for today is, what is the likelihood that Donald Trump wins the 2024 election? You got 4 possibilities to choose from. Extremely likely, possible, not likely, or not possible. Can't wait to hear what you have to think about this. Join us on the Annie Frey YouTube live broadcast right now by going to YouTube on your app, on your phone, on your smart TV. You can go watch us there as well. Just open the YouTube app on your smart TV or on your computer and type in Annie Frey, Frey, and you'll see that we are broadcasting live right now in the live chat portion, which we invite you to say hello in, especially if you've never been there before. So come say hi. There's a poll, and you can vote there. We'd love to know what you think. When we come back, we're going to ask Hans von Spakovsky about all of this chaos in just a few minutes. Don't go away.
Seeking you will find.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Hope still walks with the hurting.
Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Don't stop dancing and dreaming. There's still good news worth repeating. So lift your head and keep singing. Praise the Lord.
Thomas Helbig and the Retirement Advisory Group wants you to know that a phone call to him, to Bob Kershaw, to the Retirement Advisory Group, can give you a peace of mind that's pretty much priceless. And it's not going to cost you anything to sit down and have that initial conversation about your retirement, making sure that you are prepared fully to engage in retirement. Even if you are already retired, if you don't have that peace of mind, give them a call and listen to what they have to say. 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. When you talk to them, you can tell them, this is where we are, this is what we've saved, this is what we've amassed, this is what we want to do, and this is how much we want to pay ourselves. Are we safe and secure? And then they will tell you all the tips and tricks that you need to know to make sure that that, in fact, is going to be the case. And then you get to breathe that priceless sigh of relief. Call the Retirement Advisory Group, 314-993-9494, and schedule an appointment today. Tell them Annie sent you, and they'll get you scheduled very quickly. 314-993-9494. You can find them online right now and schedule an appointment as well by visiting retirementkey.com.
Get a pen. You'll want to take this number down. Okay, you have health insurance, or you don't have health insurance, but you want health insurance at a reasonable price, right? Well, you won't find it with Obamacare, where you can only sign up once a year with their high deductibles and limited networks. You need to talk to an expert. Kim Kiefer at H&L Agency can help. If you pay for your own health insurance, or your employment coverage is unaffordable, or if you have few employees, you could be saving 30 to 60% if you qualify. Couples under 65 are saving $500 to $1,000 a month with better coverage. Go to hnlagency.org and get a quote today. We all need quality health insurance at an affordable price. Call Kim Kiefer at 800-975-2841. That's 800-975-2841. Or go to hnlagency.org. And it's spelled out, that's HANDL agency.org. A quality plan managed by you and not the government. Call 800-975-2841.
Are you ready to smell better naked? I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman, the OBGYN creator of Lumi, the whole body deodorant that's clinically proven to control odor for 72 hours on pits, feet, privates, and beyond. It's pH optimized to safely and effectively control odor anywhere you have it, but wish you didn't. Plus, it's proven to work better than a shower with soap alone. Whether you shower twice a day or 3 times a week, Lumi works better. And did we mention it's aluminum free? With over 200,000 5-star reviews, I'm so sure you're going to love it, or you can return it for free.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code 500 and get an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack that comes with a solid stick, cream tube, free product of your choice, and ships free with code 500. LUMEdeodorant.com, code 500 for an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack. Love it or return it for free. That's LUMEdeodorant.com, code 500.
Mark Cox here. Selecting the right real estate agent to sell your home is the single most important factor when selling a house. Imagine needing heart surgery. Would you choose a surgeon who performs hundreds of successful surgeries a year, or one with minimal experience and mediocre success rates? Selling your home is like doing open heart surgery on your finances. That's why I recommend you call Gloria Liu with your home sold guaranteed realty and get to know her like I have. Gloria will give you multiple selling options when selling your home. For 20 years, she's been helping home sellers just like you get the most money for their home. Listen, experience, a proven track record, and guarantees matter when you're relying on an agent to get you the most money in the least amount of time. Selling your home, there's only one call you should make. Call Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
You're invited to the Young Republicans Freedom Fest Barbecue. Mark Coxier, join me October 8th in Fenton. Hear from several GOP power players fighting for the future of the Republican Party and help bring conservative values to Missouri. Learn more at 971talk.com/events.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
I have no advice to give to House Republicans except one. I hope whoever the next speaker is gets rid of the motion to vacate. I think it makes the speaker's job impossible, and the American people expect us to have a functioning government.
We the people of the United States,
More perfect.
are a form of our perfect union.
Heritage legal expert Hans von Spakovsky.
Well, Mitch McConnell giving just a tad of advice there to the House as they are without a speaker currently. And I just want to give Hans von Spakovsky your first open opportunity to tell us what you think about what we continue to hear as an unprecedented event in the House of Representatives and the vacating of that speaker seat.
Well, it puts us in a very interesting position, given the fact that the money for the government is going to be running out very soon. They've been trying to get regular appropriations bills done, and they can't do business until they get a new speaker. So, the only thing really I can say about this is, they need to move quickly. They need to get a new speaker. They need to get somebody they can support, and they need to get going, because every day that they are shut down, the Democrats are just loving it, because it's hard to get work done, including, by the way, impeachment hearings and things like that when the House is shut down.
Yeah, well, there's several candidates potentially for the speaker's position. Jim Jordan is one of them. Scalise is one of them. People have talked about Byron Donalds. I don't know if other names have been thrown out there since I last looked. But Jim Jordan has a strong responsibility right now on some very important committees. If somebody like Jim Jordan were to become the Speaker of the House, what happens to his position on the committees that he is in charge of right now or participating in?
Well, they would find someone else to take over that spot. Speakers don't usually share committees, although, the House could actually look, if they wanted to change the rules, I think they could, and the Speaker could be the chair of a committee, but that's not normally the way it's done. So they would just need to make sure they've got somebody else very strong who is going to push forward and keep working at this the same way that Bill Jordan has.
When you hear Senator McConnell talk about removing that single vote motion to vacate, what is your constitutional thought on the value of giving one individual that kind of power in the House, or the harm?
Look, I'm not an expert on the parliamentary rules that govern the House, but it does seem a little strange to allow one person to bring up a motion like that, and particularly when you had a situation where, look, the vote was something like 96% of the Republicans wanted to keep him as the Speaker. And the only way that didn't happen was because of the Democrats. So basically, the 8 Republicans who voted against him couldn't have done it without the support of the Democrats. And it seems very strange, a situation like that, to just allow one person to start a proceeding like that.
Yeah, it does. It does seem that way. We're speaking with Hans von Spakovsky, the senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation. I'm curious what your thoughts are on some of the questions that Matt Gaetz has put into the conversation. I'm conflicted with what Matt Gaetz was trying to do, but then also the conflict comes in why he specifically did it. There are issues that he brings up about the way that the House is doing business that I agree with him. And when he speaks on the floor or speaking to the media, he often makes points where I go, well, I'm kind of with you there on that, Matt. But I feel like this was not the right time to do this. And if you didn't have what the plan B was after your vote ends up passing to oust Kevin McCarthy, then I get a little concerned. Do you feel like any of the things that Matt Gaetz is bringing into the spotlight right now are important issues that American voters and those Republicans in the House need to be considering?
Yeah, but look, there's all kinds of issues that he brings up that, frankly, are brought up by many members, Republican members of the House. I mean, it's not just him, but you've got to have a process or a way of getting things done. And look, that's very difficult when you have only a slight margin of control, and when Democrats control the other chamber. So, I think it was Ronald Reagan who once said, if all he could get was half a loaf of bread, that was better than getting nothing. And I think, I'm not saying you should compromise on every issue, but the folks have to realize the difficulties House Republicans, and there are a lot of good people there, face in trying to get anything done when they only have slight control of the House and they have no control over the Senate.
Yeah, I agree with that. Hans von Spakovsky with us right now. There's some names, as I said, have been floated around for Speaker of the House. We can pivot to another name that's been suggested out there. You don't have to be in the House of Representatives to be the Speaker of the House. Donald Trump was asked if he'd consider it. Marjorie Taylor Greene says that's the only person she's voting for. Meanwhile, he's in a courthouse and he's trying to defend himself against a fraud case in New York. When you see that case, particularly the one that he is having to defend himself from right now, the constant drumbeat from Donald Trump is this is election interference. What are your thoughts on Donald Trump's position there as a political one or as a legal one?
Oh, I think what's going on in New York is a political show trial. And look, that's not just me saying that. Andy McCarthy, who I know from the Justice Department, says the same thing. So does Jonathan Turley. I mean, Turley is actually pretty much a liberal, but he's a big expert on constitutional law. And he's saying the same thing because, look, Letitia James ran for AG saying she was going to get Donald Trump. And so she files this very bogus case against him. She reminds me of Laurentiy Beria. Remember, he was Stalin's chief of the Soviet secret police, and he once said, "Give me the man, I'll give you the crime." And that's exactly the way she's operating. And the judge, Judge Engeron, who they're in front of, listen, before this lawsuit was even filed, when Trump was protesting that the attorney general was singling him out, and Gorin said publicly, oh, well, Trump's just a bad guy that she should go after. And that's the person, supposedly unbiased judge, who's ruling over this case. And as you know, he's already ruled against Trump, saying that Trump didn't provide proper evaluations of his properties and all these different deals, including his evaluation of the Mar-a-Lago property in Florida. But Palm Beach officials say the judge is wrong. The judge is wrong in his evaluations. I think this is a political trial intended to go after the man that this judge and this attorney general hate and said, we're going to get this guy.
Hans, I mean, when does it stop? Because you would think that if they're doing something illegal here, that the justice system would come in and say, no, you can't treat a citizen the way you're treating Donald Trump. I mean, I don't think Donald Trump is squeaky clean. I think that he's made some poor choices along the lines. But I can think of other people politically who have been powerful, who have made infinitely worse choices, and nothing ever happened to them because I guess they were just the right party at the right time. But how many conversations, Hans, have you and I had over the years about Donald Trump where he is being pursued by the American justice system unfairly and not been convicted on any of it? And yet it's just yet another case right now in Manhattan and Letitia James. I mean, it's unfair, but that's the period on the sentence. It doesn't seem like there's anything that follows that to stop the next sentence from repeating what was just said.
Well, that's why so many folks are losing faith in our justice system. And one of the drawbacks, look, we've got a pretty good justice system, particularly in comparison to other countries. But one of the drawbacks we have is that our justice system depends on the judges, prosecutors, and lawyers who operated in it operating in good faith. And unfortunately, there aren't a lot of checks when you have prosecutors like Letitia James, who is an unethical political prosecutor, and when you have bad judges like you have in this case, unfortunately, there's not a lot of recourse for trying to fix or do something about that.
So what are the steps that have to happen to fix this? Because the further we careen into this abyss, the less likely it is we will ever find our way out. A, can it be fixed? B, God willing, you say yes. How's it happen?
States have to do this. This is something that has to happen everywhere. They have to do a better job in screening who is appointed or elected to judgeships. I mean, that to start with, and people need to start paying more attention to attorney generals and prosecutors' races. I mean, Letitia James, even after she came out and basically said she was going to get Donald Trump, not that she had any evidence of a trial, I mean, of a crime, but she was going to go after him because she hated him, and she was going to do everything she could to find some kind of crime to charge him with. Anyone who says anything like that, she should never have been reelected. And yet what happened? She was elected in New York with a 10-point margin. I don't know if people in New York want that kind of a horrible attorney general or whether they just weren't paying attention.
Man, it's hard to stomach, and it's hard to find hope in the constant revolving door of injustices where, you can have the attorney general of the state of New York saying that they're going to get Trump and they're going to figure out a way to do it. And they are blindly walking through the laptop of Hunter Biden, the emails of Hunter Biden, the text messages of Hunter Biden, and everybody in lockstep, in beautiful harmony from the left, and everybody who advocates for them is like, there's nothing to see here. And Joe Biden is a loving father. I mean, it's so insulting to the intelligence of anybody who they're speaking to think that we can hold these two thoughts in our head about the way that Donald Trump is being pursued and the way Joe Biden is being ignored, and to intellectually hold those thoughts at the same time and think it's fair.
Oh, look, I agree. Unfortunately, today, the only solution to any of this may be at the ballot box.
Yeah. Well, then people better show up. Hans, we appreciate you. I'm going to encourage people to go read your book as well, since we're talking about elections. Your book, Our Broken Elections, How the Left Changed the Way You Vote. You've put a ton of time and effort and research into the election system and how it functions, and I encourage people to check that book out and read what you have put together for them, because it's a great read, and it's important, very important for people to understand the way the system is set up today.
Thanks, Annie.
Of course. Hans, thank you. Appreciate you. He is the Senior Legal Fellow for the Heritage Foundation, a former FEC Commissioner, DOJ lawyer, and author. Let's take a quick break. Wiggins America in studio. When we come back, what's he talking about today? I think he sent stuff.
He has not sent it to me.
He didn't send it to you?
No.
It's a mystery. Wiggins America when we come back. And I, for one, am going to keep it right here, because this is where I'm sitting right now. Wiggins America in studio. Come vote in the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll right now. What's the likelihood Trump wins the 2024 election? We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Big hands, I know you're the one.
Gateway ENT. You can call them to schedule an appointment right now at 314-843-3828. 314-843-3828. My husband has been going to Gateway ENT. He specifically is seeing Dr. Hardiman, but they have a team of ENTs there, and one is just as good as the next that are taking new patients right now. You're going to be able to call 314-843-3828 and get in quickly. You'll be surprised at how fast you can be seen. And when my husband is going there to figure out some answers to sinus issues that he's dealt with for a really long time. And I will be talking to Dr. Hardiman personally, or having him on the show, or talking about all of the amazing ENTs at Gateway ENT. And I'm like, why are you not going to get this fixed? He said, I don't know. He got an immediate solution to fix his breathing at nighttime, but we're going to look at something that might be a little bit longer term and more permanent. And he trusts Dr. Hardiman with these issues. If you have an ear, nose, or throat issue, if you have something chronic that comes and gets worse and flares up that maybe this time of year, you don't have to deal with it anymore. Call 314-843-3828 and get a solution for your issues. GatewayDRS.com.
Now is the time to replace your home's exterior during Banner Construction's 30th anniversary with same-as-cash financing. Beautify the exterior of your home and save with famous James Hardie siding and Pella windows. James Hardie looks and feels like real wood with no maintenance. Call now for special financing. Let Banner Construction's exterior design team give you a free quote. Call 314-569-1050. That's 569-1050, or online, bannerconstruction.com. And have a banner day.
Station KFTK, an equal opportunity employer, is dedicated to providing a broad outreach for job vacancies at our stations. We seek the help from local community organizations in referring qualified applicants to our stations. Community organizations that wish to receive our job vacancy information can reach out to Frankie Fan at 206-577-2432. In addition, all listeners are encouraged to visit Odyssey.com for an online listing of job vacancies of all Odyssey radio stations.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
We want you to participate in today's Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. The question is, what is the likelihood that Donald Trump wins the 2024 election? Is it extremely likely, possible, not likely, or not possible? Let us know what you think, and let us know also in the comments why you think what you think. The time right now, 12:45. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
This is where real local and national accountability happens. This is 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to start again? Do you ever feel
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Do you ever feel already buried deep, 6 feet under screens, but no one seems to hear a thing? Do you know that there's still a chance for you? 'Cause there's a spark in you. You just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. Just on the night, like the 4th of July. 'Cause baby, you're a
Wiggins. Oh, Wiggins.
Hello there, hello. I have a few stories for you here. They've got a similar theme, though. I don't know if you've ever heard this axiom before, that whatever happens in the United States happens first in California. So I'm going to bring some stories to you that are about...
Thank you.
You're
I'm speaking
welcome.
my language.
You're welcome.
Man, there is a song playing on one of the, probably 104.1, because it's playing in the thing, and it's Genuine's, one of Genuine's song, and I can't remember what the name is right now because this tropical music is playing. And there's something so weird about knowing your 19, 20, 21-year-old self and knowing that that person existed and that you are not that person anymore.
Are you hearing these songs and going, ooh, was I actually listening to that? Is that what's happening in your brain?
Oh, no. I mean, I know every word to these filthy songs.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's what I thought. That's what
I don't want to offend our friends over at Hot 104.1, but my very middle-aged mother of four conservative talk show radio host person it's like when I told the story about my husband. He was going out running and he was like, I need to put on a playlist. So he did what he did when he was a kid, and he put on Kid Rock, and he came home and he's like, Annie, Kid Rock is filthy. And I'm like, everybody knows. And
you know
he's
what?
like,
I don't think that about Kid Rock. I'd have to listen to that again.
well, you will listen to it and you will go, oh. But it's like when we listen to it, when you don't know.
Was it hidden? I mean,
No.
or is it just right there out in the open? Because I can't think of that stuff right now.
Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to interview Tyrus and Dave Rubin in the 1 o'clock hour.
Mm-hmm.
And at 1:45, you're going to come back and you're going to report on what you learned from Kid Rock.
Okay.
Just read some lyrics.
That sounds very fair. Because
Yeah.
I really
You
don't.
get an hour.
I mean, I know that he was always kind of crass, but I can't picture anything
No,
he was
it's not-
saying that was like, ooh, I wouldn't want my kids to hear that.
What?
Yeah, really. I can't
Oh my
remember it.
gosh. Okay.
I mean, like,
Some of it was nonsense. It was
Kid
ba
Rock-
with the ba.
Kid Rock wasn't talking to your children,
No.
but he was talking to us while we were children.
Yes.
And we didn't get it. And now my husband in his mid to late 30s was like, I get this now. It's not for me anymore.
This is why mom and dad were upset.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I think, though, there's a change, not just that happens with music, because I think it's more out in the open than it used to be, that stuff now. But I think also when you're that age, you're just not
You don't
you're
get
not
all
paying
of
attention to the lyrics
the
as much as you
entendre.
are the feel of the song.
Anyway, California.
So these songs, these stories are all about.
Yeah.
And
keep it rocking.
what I want to know is this something that you do hope comes to the rest of the United States? Or do you hope it just stays in California?
Pretty sure I know the answer to this
Yeah,
question
no
right now.
joke.
We do have to stretch it out for 6 minutes, though.
All right, first, it's not just State Farm. Allstate is no longer selling new home insurance policies in California. Just capping it off. We're done right there. State Farm and Allstate, both, they've stopped. State Farm General Insurance Company said last week, this is actually a couple weeks ago now, that it's no longer accepting new applications for property and casualty coverage in California because of two things. One is all of the natural disasters that are more common to California, like wildfires. And if you recall, they just got hit with a random tropical storm hurricane.
Well, there's also earthquakes.
And earthquakes. But they said the construction costs have skyrocketed in California. Not to mention, along with the rest of the country, the value of homes has basically doubled in the last 4 years or so.
It is amazing to compare the value of your home here in the Midwest and then go see what that will buy in California.
gosh.
It's nothing.
Or Oregon or Washington. It's like a shanty shack. It's awful.
I don't live in a big house. Not at all. Single story. We don't have a basement, three bedroom, like starter home type stuff. Millions of dollars in California.
You have a nice house.
Not 1 million, but millions of dollars.
You could cash in your house and buy a bathroom in an apartment.
Yeah.
Over there.
That you have to share.
Yeah, because like you said, I mean, we all live in fine houses, but you transplant that house to the West Coast in the right spot, especially.
Oh, yeah.
It's well over seven
Well,
figures.
even in the wrong spot. I've got a friend that used to live in California, and every so often this friend sends me a message. He's like, hey, this is in my old neighborhood. Look at how much this house is. And you're going, that is that? No wonder people can't afford homes.
Yeah, it's amazing. Allstate Corp has told the State Department of Insurance that it stopped it's not even new, stopped selling new home insurance policies last year. The notice was part of the recent request for nearly 40% rate increase for home and business property and casualty insurance because everything's just gone up so much. A lot of people are just buying homes without insurance now. And of course, there's a government plan. It's called the FAIR Plan that already existed, but is now being maxed out because so many people can't get new insurance. It says the FAIR Plan, which offers minimal coverage at high rates, the government plan, is meant to be a provider of last resort, but enrollments have surged 70% since 2019 to 2022.
Is that a government subsidized program?
Yeah, I don't know exactly how it works, but it's something supposed to be just kind of a stopgap for when you can't get insurance quickly. And everybody's just using it for long-term insurance now because you can't find insurance. So I'm going to assume that you don't want that one to come to the rest of the United States.
I'm a pass.
Yeah.
Next one.
In the city.
The state of California is looking at instituting zero emissions zones soon.
Well, that'd be helpful.
I mean, that sounds nice.
Absolutely.
I saw that London has already done this.
London don't know how to party like California, though. The state of California is looking seriously at instituting or allowing local governments to institute zero emission zones in the near future. Now, that sounds wonderful. Less pollution. Unfortunately, there is a huge classic car industry in California, if you didn't know about that. And all of the classic cars, including the California Air Resources Board, is having to talk about this with classic car enthusiasts to figure out, well, what are we going to do with all the classic cars? According to a Daily Caller report on August 2nd, the California Air Resources Board sent a survey to owners of classic cars from model year 1978 or earlier. The questions were aimed at ascertaining how those classic cars are used and stored and where they're driven and how they basically might regulate all those things for you. So, another area where maybe they weren't thinking it all the way through.
Well, yeah, like the zero emission zones in London, they put up cameras to watch these, and they have got themselves a nice, polite little English revolution going on because people are damaging the cameras, spray painting them black.
No kidding.
Knocking them over. But the idea is if your vehicle doesn't have this sticker or isn't approved in this area, they'll take a picture of your license plate, and then they send you a bill for driving through this low emission zone. So it's not a zero emission zone, it's a low emission zone. But that's how they're trying to enforce it in London, and people aren't having it. It's insane.
Coming to a state near you, maybe?
I'm a hard no on that one.
Okay. Last one. Top California Teachers Union wants homeless people to sleep in its public school parking lots.
Say that again?
There is a teachers union, actually the top California Teachers Union.
Wants homeless
people to sleep in its public school parking lots. One of California's largest teachers unions wants to open up its public school parking lots to the homeless, a priority the union is pushing as it barrels toward a strike that could shut down the school just weeks after students return to the classroom. The Fresno Teachers Association laid out the policy in a contract proposal which calls to open high school parking lots to homeless families to park their cars or sleep there.
I'm all for this.
Yeah, let them have it.
Are you?
Put it out there in the open. Let everybody know what the teachers union stands for.
The teachers union wanted this, put the signs around it.
The more out in the open these leftist policies can be, the better it is to make the argument against them.
Yes, and that's actually the story here. It's the union, not really the homeless problem.
Just look at the city of Chicago and the Chicago's teachers union right now, and I want to pull that clip, and I'll send it to you guys to get. But this clip of the parents at a school board meeting in Chicago, and they're chanting, "You work for us," because in Chicago they want to bring in more immigrants and just flood the school systems with them. And they're saying, no, you have to stop this. There's poverty that exists there. And now we're prioritizing who is most politically beneficial to spotlight poverty for places like the teachers union. And I say, expose it all.
Yeah, they acknowledge, too, this is going to cost at least an extra $500,000. But
that's nothing.
But we want to address more, quote, societal things. It's not even about the school. They say they want to address more societal things with their proposals.
Debt goes up $500,000 every about 11 seconds.
Yes.
We got that money. All right. I mean, we don't have any of the other money, so I don't know why this should be any different. Tyrus and Dave Rubin when we come back.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow. At AMCO.
AAMCO.
The Martins came over, we were having spaghetti when we suddenly noticed that we started getting sweaty. So we grabbed the keys and we ate it in the van. That's what my friend said, call Jerry Kelly, man, JerryKelly.com. Give him a call even though it's late, JerryKelly.com. Cause Jerry Kelly's always open up until 8. They're certified technicians, I've been told. Will help you when it's hot and help you when it's cold. JerryKelly.com. They're fast and they're good and they got it going on. JerryKelly.com.
Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan is a phone call or a text away. 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. Now, I've talked to you a lot about how securing your mortgage and a bagel loan with Stewie is a really smart move. I stand by it. 2-time refinancer with the bagel loan. I got a lower rate each time. That might be the case for you if you got one of the super high rates when they were up. But I want to talk to you about consolidating debt right now. This is something that a lot of Americans are facing, and you might not have ever faced this before. And the situation is kind of grows out of control quickly, and you're thinking, how do I get ahead of the game here? Maybe it's with a refinance with Stewart's American Mortgage. If the equity exists in your home, you can call Stewie at 314-324-4440 and just tell him, I've got this much in credit card debt. Don't know how it happened. There's no shame in doing it. There honestly is only shame if you just pretend the problem doesn't exist while it continues to get worse. Stewie can help you with this, and he's helped a lot of other listeners as well. If you've got debt you need to consolidate, 314-324-4440 and MLS number 226715.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and wondering how long your money will last? Are you also sick of worrying about losing your life savings in the next market crash? I'm Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. Let us build your own personalized structured income plan, which will show you how much income you can receive in retirement, but more importantly, it will show you how long your money will last. Stop wondering if you have enough to retire comfortably.
Call us now at 314-993-9494 for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. We'll teach you the strategies you won't hear from your broker or banker. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. We've been helping our clients retire with confidence for the past 37 years. Let us help you. So go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The White House says it's not a reversal. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. This as federal laws are waived to allow more border wall to be built after President Biden promised not to build any.
His stance on the border wall has not changed. He does not believe it is effective.
White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre says this is about funding appropriated before President Biden took office that Congress has refused to reappropriate for other uses. Though the Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas in his wall announcement cited an immediate and acute need.
Thousands crossing into the U.S. with simply no signs of it slowing down. So the Biden administration is now going to waive 26 federal laws to restart border construction, something that they had previously stopped. Now, this new stretch of border wall, what roughly 20 miles, will be constructed in South Texas in the Rio Grande Valley. We should point out the Biden administration at the time called the massive border wall when they took office in 2021, quote, not a serious policy solution.
Fox's Jeff Paul in Eagle Pass, Texas. Mayorkas is one of several top officials meeting in Mexico City on border issues.
So much of what we want to deliver for our people depends on providing a foundation of safety and security.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken says progress has been made, but that they're facing historic challenges. This as New York Mayor Eric Adams continues a visit to Latin America as U.S. cities struggle with an influx of migrants. Northwestern's former football coach Pat Fitzgerald, fired for cause after hazing allegations, is now suing the university for wrongful termination.
We filed the lawsuit because Coach Fitzgerald
was subjected to an unfair, arbitrary, and disgraceful course of conduct by both the university and the president.
Attorney Dan Webb says they're seeking $130 million. America is listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
At SimpliSafe, your safety is the only thing that matters. Introducing 24/7 Lifeguard Protection, only from SimpliSafe Home Security. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplisafe.com/radio. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
The step down to fall continues, and it's going to be pure fall over the weekend. Still some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder around this afternoon, 72. An early evening shower, otherwise clearing skies, 52. Friday, lots of sunshine, windy. Some puffy fair weather clouds dot the afternoon sky, 68. 42 Friday night, 62 for the high Saturday, and 68 on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
97.1 FM Talk. You're here because everybody needs an oasis. St. Louis's home for conservative talk. 97.1 FM Talk.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa."
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist. Ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
After a big dinner, my nighttime heartburn would keep me up. I'd be taking antacid after antacid all night long. But then I tried Prilosec OTC. Just one pill a day blocks my frequent heartburn for a full 24 hours, giving me one-and-done heartburn relief. Without heartburn keeping me up, I could have a restful night's sleep.
Prilosec OTC. One pill a day, 24 hours, zero heartburn. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
If you need a new bath or shower, call my friends at Bath Fitter of St. Louis. Mark Cox here. We love our new shower and tub enclosure. It looks fantastic. No demolition, no mess, and a lifetime guarantee. Right now, they're having a sale for 20% off up to $1,000 or zero interest until 2028. That's 5 years. Call 636-338-1648. That's 636-338-1648. Bath Fitter of St. Louis.
Biggest piano sale of the year is being held at the Muni Opera October 12th through the 15th. Hi, this is Kathy from Lacefield Music. And every year, Lacefield Music loans Yamaha pianos to the Muni for use in the rehearsal rooms and their performances. The Muni is the largest and oldest outdoor musical theater in America, and Lacefield Music is proud to support the Muni for their piano needs. Both floors of the entire Muni rehearsal building will be filled with a huge selection of pianos. In addition to all the loaned Yamaha pianos, a huge selection of new Yamaha Grands, Uprights, Clavinovas, pre-owned Steinway, Kawai, Roland, Casio, Xylers, and Baldwin will all be offered at rock bottom prices. Sale is by appointment only Thursday through Saturday. Sunday is open to the public. October 12th through the 15th, call 314-860-2712 for an appointment, or for more info, go to muni.org/piano sale. That's muni.org/piano sale.
Tune into the Del Walmsley Radio Show. Del, self-made millionaire and founder of Lifestyles Unlimited, will show you how to live the life of your dreams and pay for it with passive income.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
I would also argue that, some of our brothers and sisters, particularly in the, MAGA camp, I think, particularly enjoy the circular firing squad. You want to come at me and call me a rhino? You can kiss. Look, I've spent a lifetime fighting for limited government conservatism.
You're becoming like my most stable relationship.
Enough said.
Well, we join Tyrus once again, as it is Thursday. He's the co-host of the Tyrus and Tim podcast. He's on Gutfeld. He's a Fox News contributor and author. The book Nuff Said coming out soon. Tyrus, welcome back to the show. Good to have you here.
Always a pleasure.
How do you feel about the Republicans right now? There's infighting, but, every family has fights. Sometimes you try to keep them in your house, but you got to kind of work things out. Sometimes that means disagreements. Sometimes that might mean elevated voices. So disagreement in and of itself isn't bad. But how do you feel about the Republican slap fight that's taking place right now? Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
No, the problem with Republicans, unfortunately, is Republicans. We just don't get it. We don't know how to play with the lead. We don't know how to build off anything. We are already outnumbered, but when we start getting outclassed, it's a sad day for conservative people. There's a reason why you keep your family stuff at home. You don't bring it into work. 8 Republicans decided to go against over 200, to make a move that I guess they don't realize that, government's supposed to be about compromise, and you don't always get your way. And, the argument is, well, we're spending $7 trillion and we're only bringing in 5. But my argument is that how does that change now? So what now what? And there's the thing, there's no plan. There's nothing in place. Like the new guy's coming in is going to have a magic math calculator is going to fix everything. McCarthy was voted in, and he should have been allowed to do his job. He had to make compromises to get stuff done. That's how government works. We're not in power, so acting like we are is ridiculous. You take the wins you can, and hopefully the American people will see that and they vote differently. But now, every time we get any kind of momentum, no one's talking about the president's stupid mistakes and clearly doesn't have his faculties together anymore, or we can't get a straight answer out of a press secretary every time something comes up. Instead, this is the headline. So once again, the Republicans have taken the eyes off the Democrats, well, actually the progressives. And now if I'm an independent, I'm like, wow, they just too much infighting and they have no direction. So what's the difference? Why vote against the grain when, like I said, we did this with the Supreme Court stuff. We just don't. We're like villains in an Austin Powers movie. We just don't get it.
Oh man, I need to watch Austin Powers again sometime soon. They don't make movies like that anymore. Tyrus, when you're watching the chaos that's going on in the House, and we've seen, Hunter Biden. While this was all going on, Hunter Biden's pleading not guilty to gun charges, and there are other charges that could be levied against him. We're not talking about that right now, to your point, because we're talking about Matt Gaetz and Kevin McCarthy. Donald Trump is campaigning from the vestibule inside of a courthouse, saying he'd rather be in Iowa and New Hampshire and South Carolina and so on and so forth. Everywhere you turn right now is chaos. What happens next?
Who knows? You think you understand things. You think that elected officials, if there was ever a time for the American people to realize that everybody has been in these jobs too long, Biden should never have been 50 years into anything. Mitch, all of these lifetime politicians, this is what we get. And we have to blame ourselves. We got to stop voting for the guy with the most money because he has the most money because he only works for the people who give him the money. Like we have to, especially Republicans, we've got to lead by example. There should be no more Mitch McConnells. There should be no more career politicians in any of our seats. It's time for change. They've been on the job for so long they can't even remember it. And we don't see. It's funny. Feinstein recently passed, and that's not the funny part. But like when you look at her accomplishments that they ran over and over again, it was like the first 8 years she was in office, she was doing all these things, and then it just kind of tapers off. And then they just sit and they make their money, and it's not exclusive to Democrats or Republicans. It just seems to be the way it is, and they always, right around election time, all of a sudden they get geared up. So now, the Democrats now want to build a wall. So
who had that on their bingo card?
Yeah, right.
The Biden border wall. It's pretty unbelievable. I always think about like how important the retaining of power is so important for the likes of a Mitch McConnell and a Dianne Feinstein or a Nancy Pelosi and a Chuck Schumer. Like, what is it about the access and possession of that power that should it go to somebody else? What are you so afraid of happening that if you're not the person in the job, somebody else is going to do it? It's kind of a frightening thought.
But it's not even that deep. I mean, it really isn't. That's the part that bothers me. You can't do insider trading if you're not inside. It's about generational wealth. They're greedy. They stack. I mean, look at the job. Look, like this is if somebody who serves as a civil servant shouldn't get rich for the job. It's like it should be like they get the greatest tips in the world, apparently. Like they're the greatest waiters and waitresses ever. They only get a certain amount of salary that shouldn't allow them to live in mansions and have private jets and different suit for every mood. But for some reason, they all end up in that boat. Even the socialist one ends up with 2 mansions. And, the difference between a drug dealer and a politician is the drug dealer is honest. And I think we have to start looking at that. Like when we look at the problems in the House, we look at with no solutions. They want radical change. They want to be on the news feed. They want clicks, and they want to raise money. That's it. That's all it is. Oh, we have this change, so everyone needs to donate to my campaign. Like Gates is campaign running. He's trying to load his wallets, his war machine for stuff down the line. And it's like at some point we all have to say enough of this.
Yeah.
They're not doing it for the Republican Party. They're doing it for themselves. They just hide behind the elephant in our case, and they hide behind the donkey on the other side. But they're not for us at all. Like, and this whole voting him out because he compromised to keep the government open, and itself is a sham. The only thing he didn't do this time is he didn't come out with the tie off. Because when the tie's off, when they do press conferences with the ties off, they were in there hammering the numbers. They were doing work. It's like when Kilmeade shows up on Fox and Friends without his tie on. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Things have happened.
Yeah, stuff's going on.
Something has been decided.
Real.
That Donald Trump's entire campaign is the idea that he's the one who can go in. I mean, the phrase drain the swamp, which still needs to happen, but I'm kind of tired of the phrase because now it's just something you say to signal to people that we're on the same side, regardless of what actually effectively happens at the end of the responsibility that would be given to Donald Trump should he be elected. But who is going to be the person who goes into the system and effectively undoes the system that would benefit themselves? I mean, George Washington originally was that guy who said, they're like, you need to be our king. And he's like, I will not be the king. That was the original problem. Yet here we are.
Well, we're a long way from a George Washington in the sense that he gave away power. It's simple. Term limits. That's all it is. It's term limits. But every president or anyone who runs on it, every senator or congressman who runs on it, they never do anything about it because why would they cut off, why is, we got all these, the IRS, why are they not hunting and auditing all these senators and congressmen? There's no way this is on the up and up. There's no way they're paying, like the stuff that Hunter Biden's doing, the stuff that he was doing it for his dad, who was sitting in office. So damn right well he was doing it when he was a senator. And the thing about Biden that is just, this is where Trump was the breath of fresh air, was that he made his money in business and he didn't want to do business with them. He was, and I think that's where all this stuff comes. It's not a swamp. It's a volcano. because swamps don't erupt back at you, you know, and so you got to cap the volcano, and you know, and that's the thing. Biden was doing all this corrupt stuff while we had the first black president in the White House. I mean, just think about that for a second. He knew Obama had to be perfect, and Obama had no off-the-field issues, but he also knew he could take advantage of it. And him and his son ran roughshod through the White House because Obama couldn't confront him. He couldn't go after him because it would have been on him. He would have had to carry the burden. And Biden knew that. And now we're seeing it years later, what type of a person, and this is our leader, the guy who will sit on TV and want to go after Elon Musk because Elon Musk won't run his disinformation like the previous Twitter group did. So he was able to bamboozle people into voting for him, not knowing how much corruption and stuff he was involved. It's just, the American people have to stop being dumb. We're dumb. We have to stop being dumb. We have no one to blame but ourselves. When a senator dies on the job, we all should be looking in the mirror like, how does this happen?
Yeah.
It's the only job in the world you can die on. Now, everyone else would have been like, oh, thank you for your service. You can't do this anymore. You can't do that anymore, you know?
Yeah.
But no.
There's a level of ignorance that comes even with people who pay like the most attention, because you kind of get jaded to a lot of it. I think you get desensitized to a lot of the ridiculousness that takes place. It's like watching a soap opera. It's on every day. You're going to get an hour of it. It repeats the same stories over and over and over again, but you just keep watching to see what happens next, even though you pretty much know that person's not actually dead, and those two are going to get together, and you just watch, rinse, repeat.
Yeah,
How do you get to the people out there who aren't paying attention to any of this? How do we get them involved?
Well, we shouldn't. We should leave them alone because at least they sleep at night. It's literally, they spend so much time telling us what the other side's doing against us that none of us bother to realize that they're not doing anything for us. And that's the problem. We all get caught up in what the other side's doing. The other side's bad guys. We forget they're Americans too. And we wouldn't have the extremes if we were paying attention. I always have an issue with somebody who's watching everyone else and commenting on what everybody else is doing, but can never critique themselves. Like, that's somebody that I wouldn't do business with, I wouldn't be friends with, and that seems to be basically our branches of government right now, is that they just can do whatever they want, and we all focus on the president stuff, but no one's focusing on how corrupt our Congress and our Senate is. It's just ridiculous.
Before we let you go, Tyrus, I want to give you the opportunity to just kind of comment on the state of the Republican Party and the presidential race, because I would assume that the way that some of this stuff gets fixed is a Republican gets in office, whomever that might be. Seems like it would be crazy not to be Donald Trump, but then they're going to have to do things when they get in office that are going to maybe be counterintuitive to the consolidation of power that exists there. You think that Donald Trump is the guy? You think he's the right guy? You think he's the only guy?
He's not the only guy. But, I think his message has filtered down to get other Americans to want to serve. I think, unfortunately, I will be shocked if he ends up the president, just because the way these court cases are going against him, it's just not looking good. And there's the whole not having a jury of his peers is laughable. With a judge, just the videos alone you've seen are just, why even have that guy in there to begin with? Yeah. Clearly this guy has left-leaning issues and he should recuse himself, but why would he? He's smiling in the cameras, just doing things very unjudge-like that if I was in that court, I'd be worried sick, because this dude clearly has his mind made up. They're wasting their time. He just passed sentence now. Depending on what he can get through that, and I just don't know if independents have the stomach for it, because we can't win if we don't have independents. And I don't know with all the court and the noise from that, because that's really what this is about. It makes so much noise that the average voter will be like, it's just too much going on for me to vote. So you might have a lower voter turnout, which favors the Democrats. So I would like to see, you want to see karma come around and rights wronged, and him be given an opportunity to finish what he started. But I think it's going to be very hard, and judging by what we're seeing from the Republican Party in the last couple of weeks, it's really hard to get things done when you're not unified from within.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's going to be a really steep hill to climb. Tyrus, we love talking to you. Thanks for being with us today.
Always a pleasure.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. He is the author of a book coming out right now. You can pre-order. It's called Nuff Said. Go check it out. Support Tyrus. Read his book. You'll be glad you did. I did the audiobook of the first one, Just Tyrus. Really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to getting Nuff Said as well. We're going to take a quick break. Dave Rubin's going to join us. He's the creator and host of the Rubin Report. You can check him out at rubinreport.locals.com. He's going to join us on Skype as well on the Annie Frey YouTube channel, so you can watch him there. So stick around. We're going to talk to him about the YouTube live chat poll. What's the likelihood that Donald Trump wins the 2024 election? I'll tell you this ahead of time. Rubin is pretty pro DeSantis, and he's been very vocal about it. We'll hear what he has to say when we come back.
It's a new day. It's a new life for me.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
And I'm feeling good.
Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
I'm feeling good.
If you haven't been feeling good about your kitchen because you want to bring it up to date, you've looked into what it's going to cost to bring it up to date, and you go, oof, not feeling good about that either. I want to introduce you to Classic Kitchen Refacing. They're in St. Anne. They are a wonderful family-owned and operated business and the kindest people with the best solution to get you that kitchen remodel at a fraction of the price. When you go to Classic Kitchen Refacing, they're going to show you how they can reface the cabinetry that you already have, give it a beautiful wood look, a paint color finish, but they also go in and modernize all of the pulls on your cabinets, the hinges, the countertops with beautiful Cambria quartz, and the selection that they have there, really high-end looking, very beautiful solutions for your kitchen countertops, and they can touch it all off with a brand new sink and faucet and a beautiful backsplash. And they do this for so much less than a full kitchen remodel. You can find them online by going to classickitchenrefacing.com or call them at 314-739-1730. That's 314-739-1730. Find them online at classickitchenrefacing.com.
How about getting started on that next great project in your backyard and having 4 years interest-free financing to pay for it? Mark Cox here. Call my friends at Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Mention my name, and they'll give you 48 months interest-free financing. That's 636-532-4054. Get started today. Get your free estimate. The fantastic thing about Chesterfield Fence and Deck, they've been around 55 years, operated by the same ownership all that time, and they take a lot of pride in what they do. They will give you no obligation estimates and free project design. Maybe you've got a great idea for the backyard, or maybe you'd like them to bring something to show you that a neighbor has done. Whatever that happens to be, fences, decks, pergolas, sunrooms, screen rooms, patios, they can handle it at Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Remember, tell them you heard Mark Cox talking about it.
I think that every poll that was done after the debate
Go online today to chesterfieldfence.com.
Okay, so you filed your taxes this year, but you know you have past IRS issues. And now the IRS letters are coming. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. Don't ignore those IRS letters. They're important and give you rights and deadlines to defend yourself. Waiting could cause you to lose those rights. Call the Lance Story Law Firm now and let us help you get ahead of the IRS and defend your rights while you still have time. The Lance Story Law Firm is located here in St. Louis, so take the first step and hire a tax resolution attorney. We've made it super easy to schedule your free consultation in person, or you can do a phone call and save travel time. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm. Call today at 314-238-7360. That's 314-238-7360. Or go visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, the 9 critical decisions when retiring before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, healthcare, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, the 9 critical decisions when retiring before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Save $50 to $1,725 and carrier cool cash rebates on qualifying new high-efficiency furnace or HVAC system. For details and to get in your comfort zone, visit aircomfortservice.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
You will not believe the latest climate change kerfuffle that should be embarrassing to the climate change alarmists, but probably isn't. We'll talk about it Thursday afternoon.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Yeah.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
My fire, the one desire, believe when I say.
Look, I mean, I think that every poll that was done after the debate said I won, and really comfortably. All the focus groups said that we won the debate. And I think part of it is for a couple reasons. One, I'm the only person that has actually done and achieved the things that we're talking about. I've delivered results, whereas a lot of these other candidates just have talked about it.
So Governor Ron DeSantis there repeating a line that he repeats often because it's true, and calling scoreboard, in my opinion, is the best way to convince people about what you have done in addition to what you will do. You've got the backup, you got the receipt, so to speak. We're joined now by our friend Dave Rubin, the creator of the host of the Rubin Report. You can find him on Twitter at Rubin Report X and also RubinReport.locals.com. Dave, welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. It's good to have you here.
Annie, it's good to be with you, and it's also nice generally to speak about Governor Ron DeSantis because I don't have to twist myself into 1,000 positions and contort myself and lie or, obfuscate the truth.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to talk about any of them.
Well, I appreciate that. And, you've made no secret about your support for Ron DeSantis. You've gone rounds, I've seen on social media, with a lot of the Trump campaign supporters. And I want to give you the opportunity to speak as somebody who's a resident of Florida, who knows what it's like to live in the free state of Florida. I live across the river from St. Louis in Illinois. Yuck. And I go to Florida every chance I can possibly get because it just feels the air is freer there. This campaign is moving in such a rapid pace in all crazy directions. And Ron DeSantis is kind of this steady voice. He has the same message. The Trump campaign says he has no personality. Ron DeSantis keeps pointing at the scoreboard. I want you to give us your thoughts on the status of the Ron DeSantis campaign, where we are right now today.
Sure. Well, look, if you put aside the polls for just a second that we're supposed to believe are true, but let's put those aside for a second, and I'm happy to discuss them in a moment. Ron DeSantis is probably the best Republican candidate for president that we've seen in the last 30 or 40 years, probably since Ronald Reagan. The guy, as he just said in that clip, it's not that he just says things, he does things. I mean, name one other politician, Democrat or Republican, whether you like the policies or not, name one other politician in the last 30 or 40 years who has said, these are the things I'm going to do, and then done every single one of them, whether it was removing wokeness and the gender lunacy and race stuff from our schools, getting ESG out of our institutions here in Florida, fixing our infrastructure, as we also took about 800,000 to 1 million new people because everybody's moving here for freedom. We've had 2 unbelievably catastrophic hurricanes in the last year here in Florida. The cleanup has been unbelievable, and you don't have to take my word for it. Just look at the news, and the fact that they don't go off on DeSantis because of it tells you everything you need to know. We're taking the best police officers from Chicago and St. Louis, by the way, and New York and Los Angeles, and we're giving them bonuses to move down here to the free state of Florida. So in terms of policy, saying what he's going to do, accomplishing it, and then don't forget the big one really is then moving on to other things that he wants to accomplish, which hopefully will be blueprinting this across the United States so that many other states that have citizens who want to enjoy freedom can get it. hopefully it will come together. But just quickly on the polls, because what I'm hearing from a lot of people everywhere I go, and I was in LA last week, and all over the country, everywhere I go, people say the same thing. I love DeSantis. He's doing a great job. He's the best governor. There's no flaws. He's a nice guy. He's a family man. Yeah, it's not the biggest show ever. But the thing that they're concerned about are the polls, because they go, I like Trump. I'm kind of tired of it. I hear that with almost everybody. But are the polls insurmountable? You know, I've been digging into some of these polls, and I would recommend that you do it, Annie, and anyone listening should do it. Most of these polls that are being thrown across mainstream media right now, and I'm talking from the ones that are pushed by MSNBC to NBC to the Trump campaign to Fox, they're usually polls of about 500 to 1,000 people. These are not mass polls. It's a very specific slew of people that get polls with landlines and the rest of it. I am just not convinced. And the last thing I'll say is, how often is it that the day after the election, we're all wondering why the polls were wrong? So I don't care if it's by 5 points or 60 points. I just simply will not believe any of this until the votes are cast.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so glad you said that. I emphatically hate polls because they are just there to persuade. The ones that are informative are usually the ones done internally in campaigns, and what they do is they react to those polls. They don't necessarily share those polls. But what we're all consuming here, because we all want to know. We want to know the future of our country. We care about it. We're passionate about it. They get talked about when it fits the narrative of whomever it is that is speaking about it. Here's a question for you. As you've been watching the DeSantis campaign, I love a lot of the stuff you're saying about what you're hearing from people. I'm hearing the same thing here in the Midwest. Generally speaking, the people who support Ron DeSantis support Donald Trump so much that they want Ron DeSantis so that the unfair Department of Justice pursuit of Donald Trump can be vindicated, because they just don't know that Donald Trump can win. If the polls are so much in Donald Trump's favor, what do you have to say about the amount of money that the Trump campaign is spending against Ron DeSantis right now? And why is it that while he is in a courtroom defending himself from once again being persecuted by the Department of Justice, so he says, why does he keep talking about Ron DeSantis if he's already got him beat?
Annie, has there been any campaign in the history of politics? I'm not just talking about the United States. Go back to the Roman Empire. Give me something from Greece a long time ago. Athens. Like, has there ever been a campaign where the guy who was up, who claims he's the incumbent, who doesn't have to debate, and is up by 60 some odd points, is railing against the number 2 guy every day? It makes no sense whatsoever, other than he knows there is one weakness. There is one guy who can get him, and it's Ron DeSantis. And by the way, that is not to denigrate the average MAGA supporter, you know, the people who are still ride or die with Trump. I understand the inclination to stick with him. I think DeSantis is the better choice to finish the mission. I think DeSantis can actually make America great again in a way that Donald Trump can't. You know, Donald Trump, even on trial right now, which, by the way, I totally agree with you, are completely unjust. They should all be thrown out, the criminal and the civil, for a litany of reasons. But putting that aside for a second, it's like, can he surround himself with the best people? Does he have the best lawyers now? Do you think he's going to be able to get the best attorney general? Almost everyone in his last administration, from Kayleigh McEnany on down, he has now turned against and is an idiot or a bird brain. I mean, Nikki Haley was the best U.S. ambassador to the UN we have had in decades. You know, she turned America's, it had a lot to do with Trump, his vision for the country, but she was out there fighting all these crazy radical regimes and the communists in the UN and all of that stuff. And now she's a bird brain. I mean, that's the latest one that he's turned against. Kayleigh McEnany, John Bolton, everybody. And I'm not even defending all these people. Mark Miley, blah, 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 blah. It's like, all right, how are you going to get anyone? As far as I can tell, the only person that he's worked with for a long time that he hasn't turned against is Rick Grinnell. But all right, Rick's one guy. You got a staff with thousands of people, and I just simply don't think he can do it. So if you want the swamp drained, how about a young guy who has like an untouchable track record of accomplishing what he sets out to do and believes in many of the same things that Donald Trump and you and I believe in. The choice is just so obviously clear. If Donald Trump was not running, DeSantis would probably be up 80 points on everybody, and it would be far more sensible to cancel the debates.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Dave Rubin joining us right now, the creator and host of the Rubin Report. I'll tell you where I'm coming from for people who maybe are tuning in for the first time and may not know the full story about me. I got 4 kids. I'm a suburban mom in the Midwest. You know, I'm the type of person that seems to be, I don't really love the way they're like, we got to get these suburban women to, you know, like to stop thinking with their emotions and start. I'm like, wait a second here, easy. You know what's at the epicenter of everything that I care about? My family and my 4 kids, and the idea that I have a 2-year-old through a 13-year-old, a 13-year-old boy who's being raised in a society where we don't even know how to tell him to be a man, and I will tell him, but the society is trying to tell him something else. And a 2-year-old, I have no idea what it's going to be like for her in 3, 5, 10 years from now. I need someone who's going to talk to me about getting this country back on the right track and to treat me with the respect that I deserve as a mother that knows what's best for my kids and knows that what I think is best for my kids might differ from what another mom thinks is best for her kids. But instead, the conversation is always about the people at the top. It's not about the American people who are being drastically affected by inflation, by, you know, high gas prices, infiltration into your home and the decisions that you make. Ron DeSantis is being accused of being a culture warrior to his denigration by the left, and Donald Trump has jumped in on that game. Being a Florida resident yourself, what have you seen?
It's so ridiculous to see Donald Trump on the same side as MSNBC. And by the way, he tweets out clips of MSNBC going after DeSantis all the time. And it's like, dude, they are fake news. You came up with the phrase fake news, or at least you popularized it. The fact that DeSantis is being hit by MSNBC and Trump really shows that he's over the target. But, you know, there's 2 things related to what you just said there. You know, as a mother and you want your kids to grow up right and everything else. Well, so there's 2 things. One is you want, hopefully, that we'd have a president who could put in place some of the policies that would allow you to be the mother of your family and raise your family in the freest way possible. So you could make choices for them related to whatever, if they one day came home and they were confused about their gender or whatever their math class was teaching, right? You want a government that stays enough out of the way and allows maximum freedom. The other thing I would say, and I'm a new parent of 2 very young boys, so I'm not quite at the point where I have to cross this threshold yet. But, you know, when I see, this is something that's shifted in me in the last year, and trust me, I do not have Trump derangement syndrome. I like Trump in a lot of ways. I voted for him. There's a chance I'll vote for him again. Sure. So this is not some Trump derangement thing. But when I see his Truth Social posts now calling Nikki Haley bird brain, and, you know, we've been it with low energy Jeb, and he called Ted Cruz's father a murderer, and he won't even say DeSantis' real name. Instead, he calls him DeSanctimonious, which he's the most sanctimonious person in the history of the world. It's like, what kind of society do we want to raise our children in? Like, it might be good for winning to just, you know, get all the attention to be paid on you because you call everybody names and, you know, you're orange and your hair's crazy. But it doesn't have to be that way. Maybe that's the way, you know, if you spoon feed people crap, they'll eat crap. But maybe there is a better way. And the better way might be with a guy who's 45 years old, who has 3 young kids, who are in school themselves, who's got a good marriage, who's fighting for the right things, who doesn't call people names, who doesn't lie about his opponents or his record. And maybe that actually helps get us out of it. Maybe not.
Yeah,
but maybe.
And you know, we have the opportunity to make that choice right now. You look at the left, Joe Biden. What is the alternative over there? I don't know what they're going to do when I firmly believe Joe Biden's not going to be the nominee on the left. Maybe he will. I actually hope that he is, because I think he'd be the easiest to beat. In your opinion, we're speaking with Dave Rubin. Last question before we let you go here. I've heard Ron DeSantis repeat this line: no vote has been cast. He will not be dropping out of anything until people actually get to have their a voice be heard. And Donald Trump says, end everything now, it's decided, because of those polls. What do you think that America is going to see when the votes start being cast?
Look, I think DeSantis is going to do well in Iowa. He's been to, I think, 45 of the 99 counties in Iowa. He's going to all 99. Trump's not doing much there. Again, if we've learned anything over the last couple of years, it's that the mainstream media, the corporate press, all of the institutions, they lie about everything. So are they suddenly just telling us the absolute truth about polls, which we also know are wrong all the time? So I think I'm going to be in Iowa for that first vote, and I'll try to get to some of the other primary states and see what happens. But DeSantis ain't going anywhere. And if Trump was confident, he would. One other thing on this. The idea that he doesn't have to debate these guys, maybe it's a good strategy in terms of pure, racehorse politics strategy. But is it good for the country? Is it good for the country that the man who wants to be president doesn't have to defend his ideas against his competition? Because guess what's going to happen? If Trump becomes the nominee without debating DeSantis, trust me, Joe Biden will not be debating Donald Trump, because he will say, you know what, I have my own polls. We're up by 7 points. That's enough. I'm not going to do it. Or he's a white supremacist, MAGA, ultra-right nationalist or something, and I don't have to debate him anyway. So, we will destroy all the norms in the quest for Trump's power. And it just shouldn't be that way.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing those votes be cast and how dramatically different, especially being so far away from the actual votes being cast here in 2023.
We still got 4 freaking months.
Yeah,
God help us all.
And what could possibly happen in 4 months? I mean, what happens in 1 week in this news cycle? It's crazy. Dave Rubin, it's such an honor to have you here. Thank you for spending some time with us this afternoon.
Thanks, Annie. Always enjoy talking to you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break here, and when we return, we're going to get the report from, of course, Ryan Wiggins, who said that he wasn't sure the Kid Rock music was I wonder if I'm reminding him right now that he needs to listen to some of this music, if you know what I mean. He said, we were talking about how you don't really understand the music that you're listening to when you're young, and then you go back as an older person, you're like, oh my gosh, I knew every word to that song. I sang every word to that song in front of my parents. And so he is doing some research right now on Kid Rock, and he's going to give us his thoughts on that. I would love to know what you think about Dave Rubin's comments there. Of course, as I said, leading into it, Dave Rubin is pro-DeSantis. He's been very pro-DeSantis. He's criticized Donald Trump. I'm working very hard on getting some people from the Trump campaign to come in and throw the punches right back. I'm interested in hearing what everyone has to say, and I'm really grateful that Dave Rubin of The Rubin Report was willing to join us and have that conversation there. You can check it out on the Annie Frey podcast. If you missed it, we will have that posted in not too much time. Ryan Wiggins and his Kid Rock report when we come back.
Desire, believe. You're listening to the Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
I want it that way.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Can't reach to your heart when you say that I want it that way. Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why I never wanna hear you say I want it that way.
Air Comfort Service online at aircomfortservice.com. Have you checked out their website yet? You can always get connected to the greatest savings, rebates, financing opportunities to help make whatever it is that you need to get repaired or replaced taken care of. First and foremost, my family trusts Air Comfort Service. Any HVAC concerns we have in our house, we call 314-513-0091. We get connected to somebody there, and we get somebody out to check out the problem and assess the situation. We have done a furnace replacement, an air conditioner replacement, a water heater replacement, an aero seal duct sealing. Probably going to have them come out and check the insulation in our house if we see that our energy bills are skyrocketing outside of just the cost of energy in general. Air Comfort Service can be trusted, both for your residential concerns and your commercial concerns. You can call Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation at 314-513-0091 and get a free second opinion on commercial HVAC repairs. So if you're a business owner, building manager, operations manager, or office manager, and you've recently been told that the HVAC system needs repaired, go to Air Comfort Service. You'll be glad you did. Find them online at aircomfortservice.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898 or biglou.com.
Hey, it's Bo Matthews, and if invasive plants and trees have overtaken your pasture, roads, trails, or dams, then you need Missouri Brush Control. Their special forestry mulching equipment helps landowners reclaim their property. Enjoy your land like you've always dreamed of. To learn more, visit MissouriBrushControl.com.
And how teams show up at each game will decide their fate and our next world champion. Who will deliver? Who will steal the show? Who will go above? And who will go beyond? The answers will be revealed one pitch at a time, and you won't want to miss any of the action, especially as we find ourselves asking one final question. Who will be the one? Go to MLB.com/postseason to find out where to watch. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Today's Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll is: what is the likelihood that Donald Trump wins the 2024 election? Does the conversation with Dave Rubin that just happened influence that at all? Is it extremely likely, possible, not likely, or not possible? Let us know. That's today's poll. It's 147. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Connect with the personalities and give your feedback. 97.1 FM Talk is on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For content that's additional to the radio, join us there. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
This one is the lie. Sat around laughing and watched the last one die.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. What'd you point at me for?
Habit.
And you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's go. You don't say the last number.
In Monsters Inc., they just open the laugh floor when they start scaring, and the monster that does the director thing you're on in 5 has 8 fingers. So it's like, you're on in 8. So it's funny. Good joke, Disney. Back in the day when you were capable of making good jokes. We were talking in Wiggins America at 12:45 about, I'm trying so hard not to talk about this on the air right now.
Yeah, I know.
I'm trying so hard.
I know.
Stay tuned, folks, because my patience is waning.
Yeah, there's something going on in the studio and it's driving us crazy.
But we're all on the same side of the issue.
Oh, yes.
It is among us, but it's not between us.
Right. That's correct.
At 12:45, we were talking in Wiggins America about stuff that was going on in California, and you played the song California.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminded me of another time in my life when I was hip and cool and fun. And I just
crunk.
No, we weren't crunk then.
Oh.
Crunk is post us, isn't it?
No idea.
No, that's us. That's happened during
Maybe
us.
it was you, Brad.
I'm older than you, Annie.
I know.
You were just cooler.
I just wasn't.
I think it might actually be older than us, but yeah, it was definitely during our
No,
time.
I think it's younger than us.
No, I think no.
What do you Google? When did crunk happen?
It's a good question because I would have agreed with Annie that it was after us, as in younger than us.
Like, I feel like I was old enough to feel better than being crunk.
I felt like I was old enough. Actually, this would have been any time, though, that I was making fun of crunk because it was the new young thing to say. But I did that even when I was young.
Yeah, I was going to say same.
Yeah. Like Jiggy.
That was us, too.
It was us, but it was force-fed. It was like, here's a new term for you. You're going to use it. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not using your dumb terms. I'm just gonna say cool.
When did people start saying crunk, which I spelled with a K?
Ooh.
But I was maybe wrong. It recognizes both. Popularized by its use in the fusion genre of crunk music, crunk with a C.
Oh, that's a genre now.
At the beginning, not at the end.
Okay.
Can you imagine if it was CRUNC? That's way too upscale.
Yeah, the world would blow up.
Music in the 1990s and especially early 2000s in this context, first used in music lyrics and notably popularized by Lil Jon.
Little John.
Little John, Small John.
Mary J. Blige.
Nobody's
used it.
gonna do a Lil Johnism on me here.
What?
Thank you. Gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Okay.
Lil John and the East Side Boys. Will you only respond today first with Lil Johnisms and then you can make your point?
No. What?
On their 1997 debut album, Get Crunk.
But only politely.
Who You With?
Come again.
Somebody's in the cafeteria with you and like, hey, can I squeeze by you here and get some water?
You betcha.
I wish you could see the
Oh.
That's Lil John with an H.
I was saying, little John with an H in the Midwest boys.
Small John.
Little John.
Yeah. Little John.
Capital L, capital J, no apostrophes. We're going to slip an H in that John there. Yeah. Mm-mm. Ope.
Whoop.
Whoopsie daisy.
We can buy you there. You betcha.
There got to be a lot of apologizing when you bump into people. Oh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry. There's a lot of apologizing. So this says 1997 debut album, Get Crunk. Who You Wit? The album.
Who You Wit?
You think Hot 104.1 sitting over there going, who are these people and how did they get jobs?
Mm-hmm. I do think I think they ask that more often than just today. Though.
I would. Sometimes I ask that about myself. We were talking about Kid Rock, and I was talking about how my husband went out running in his late 30s, and he was like, "Got to have some running music." He was gonna get into the running thing again, which when you have kids, you just go through waves of like. There's usually like a week and a half where you're like, "I'm gonna take care of myself," and then you're like, "No, this sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time, and I'm sleepy."
Mm-hmm. I did that like 2 weeks ago.
During that week,
Yeah.
yeah, you'll be back.
No.
It will take time.
Oh, you mean like next year?
It's everyone's timetable is different.
Yeah.
Okay. He decided to put on some music to listen to while I was running, and he said he was listening to Kid Rock. He came home and he said, "This is filthy." And the Kid Rock was the number one thing he was bumping in his 1995 Jeep. I don't remember what kind it was, but it was like a Jeep.
Wrangler.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Whatever one it is, whatever kind it was. No, I think it was a Jeep Cherokee.
Cherokee.
Because they don't make Jeep Cherokees anymore. It's just Grand Cherokee or something. I should ask my friends at
But I
Katz's.
think they brought the Cherokee back.
The Wagoneer.
But there was a break there too. But
Anywho.
What?
Just sounds super surprised by any news that we discuss. So you said you thought, what did he say that Kid Rock, that he didn't think that Kid Rock was singing about anything that he'd want to keep from his children?
Yeah, it's like, I can't think of anything that I would like be horrified by my kids listening to.
No, I said I think it's probably crass, but it wouldn't surprise me to hear, oh my gosh, I didn't know that I was listening to that.
But you said on the air, because we could get the sound, that you didn't think there was anything Kid Rock was singing about that you would want to keep your kids from.
Yeah, I think that I would probably be able to play it and just be like, oh yeah, that one's a little bit over the line there.
I tasked you with, while we interviewed Tyrus and Dave Rubin, just reading some Kid Rock lyrics.
I did, but I honed in. So the one song that I knew for sure that I did like from Kid Rock, there might have been others, but I liked Ball with the Ba. I thought it was an enjoyable little ditty.
Which is all one word.
Ball with the Ba?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And the lyrics are "Ba with the ba, da bang, da bang, da bang, da bang, da dang, diggy diggy. Diggy said the boogie said jump the boogie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Then my name is Kid Rock. Then ba with the ba, da bang, diggy diggy, whole bunch more times. At this point, I'm okay with it. Verse 1. And this is for the questions that don't have any answers, the midnight glancers, and the topless dancers. Now I'm going, okay.
All right. Why are they topless? Maybe they just need clothes.
Right, maybe
Kids,
he's talking about
generosity.
dudes. Anyway. The can of freaks, cars packed with speakers, the G's with the 40s, and the chicks with beepers. Dating it a little bit. The northern.
In our day, that meant they were dealing drugs.
Did it? I just thought they were busy.
Oh,
No.
for sure.
You know?
There were 2 people who dealt drugs with beepers. And then it ruined it for everybody. And that's why we don't have beepers anymore, children.
Oh, I thought there was just beepers because you had so much going on. Like, oh man, I got to close that deal. And it wasn't drugs. The northern lights and the southern comfort And it don't even matter if your veins are punctured. All the crackheads, the critics, and the cynics, all my heroes in the methadone clinics. But I still, at this point, I'm like, you know what? All this is going way over there. They're not catching any of this. All you, this is a word I don't know if I'm going to use, so I'll just bleep. All you bleep at the IRS for the crooked.
What does that bleep word start with?
B. No. Yeah, that one.
Illegitimate children?
Uh-huh, yeah. For the crooked cops and the cluttered desks, for the shots of Jack and the caps of meth, half pints of love and the fifths of stress. You know, we're pushing it here. All the hookers that are tricking out in Hollywood. And for my
kind of starting to feel left out. I don't fit in any of these groups.
Right, yeah, he's really kind of he's
kid?
covering really one side and like every nuance of that side.
Yeah,
but
he's
not
just at a party with Hunter Biden.
And the suburban soccer moms. Now get in the pit and love someone.
Yeah, that's all you need. For the hoods of the world misunderstood, I said it's all good and it's all in fun. Now get to the pit and try to love someone. At this point, I don't know.
Ball with the ball.
Yeah, ball with the ball. About
Is that
5
the only
more
one
times.
you read?
That's the one I focused on because that's the one I would play in front of my kids.
Children, gather round.
Let me put a record on the phonograph.
Yeah. What does ba with the ba mean, father? Mein papa?
Papa.
And I would say, let me look it up on the Google, son, because I don't actually know. And I still don't. I don't know if it means something terrible.
I don't know that it means anything.
That's the only one you looked up.
That's the only one I looked up. Now, in verse 2, he does start talking about cell block 6, porno flicks, and things. So it gets a little bit more than even verse 1. So
You were like the most overprotective parent anyway. You're full of crud here. You are not playing this for your kids.
it's about gangs, head bangs. I don't know.
Filth.
I don't want my kids to be head banging.
Absolute filth. More in the NA Frey Show when we come back. Don't go away.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
Imagine having all the money you need for retirement, all the income, every month, guaranteed. That's Secure Future Investor, an indexed annuity tied to growth in the stock market, but without any risk of loss ever. It's guaranteed money for life income, no matter how long you live. Call 888-509-2228. 888-509-2228. Sponsored by GP Agency, Inc., Raleigh, North Carolina. Licensed in all states. Performance may vary. Consult with your financial professional before making an investment decision.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Sides of the same wall in Washington. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. The White House says it's following the law and that building a wall on the southern border is not a reversal.
After reports the Biden administration waived 26 federal laws in South Texas so almost 20 miles of border wall could be built in the Rio Grande Valley, President Biden tells reporters legally he had to.
There's nothing under the law other than they have to use the money for what it was appropriated. I can't stop that.
Do you believe the border wall works?
No.
Congress approved the money to be used for border wall construction back in 2019. A White House spokesperson said they asked Congress to cancel the funds, but that didn't happen.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz in Washington, but White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre facing a lot of pushback after the president's Homeland Security Secretary said there's an acute and immediate need for physical barriers in the area.
I'm not seeing his full statement on that.
Jean-Pierre also accusing Republicans of failing to answer the president's call for more border resources, including equipment, personnel, overtime, and technology. Former President Trump wants his federal election subversion case dismissed. His lawyers filing a motion in Washington arguing presidential immunity. Lawyers for Trump are also again seeking a delay in the federal documents trial, which is scheduled to begin in May, after that judge previously rejected an effort to push it back. A man eventually cleared in a decades-old murder is fighting to stay free before the Maryland Supreme Court.
42-year-old Adnan Saeed spent more than 20 years in prison in the 1999 death of his ex-girlfriend, Hae-Min Lee. Before he was freed, though Lee's family will argue before Maryland's High Court that their rights were violated because they were not given appropriate notice to attend proceedings.
Fox's Jeff Benasso, the conviction was reinstated by a lower court as part of the appeals process, but Saeed remains free as this appeal continues. America is listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
This could be the start of a break-in.
Stop. This is Simply Safe.
Or the end of one.
Police are on their way.
Introducing the latest innovation in home security. 24/7 LiveGuard protection, only from Simply Safe. Now, agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
The step down to fall continues, and it's going to be pure fall over the weekend. Still some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder around this afternoon, 72. An early evening shower, otherwise clearing skies, 52. Friday, lots of sunshine, windy. Some puffy fair weather clouds dot the afternoon sky, 68. 42 Friday night, 62 for the high Saturday, and 68 on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
This is a serious announcement for those who want to smell better naked. Like, seriously, how fresh are your nooks right now on a scale from 1 to 10? Our data shows 12 hours after a shower with soap, they're about a 5 out of 10. And if you apply Lumi Whole Body Deodorant after that shower, it would be 0. And who doesn't want 0 body odor? I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman, the founder of Lumi Whole Body Deodorant, created for those who want less BO long after a shower with soap. Lumi is different. It stops odor before it even starts, everywhere. Clinically proven to block odor all day and controls odor for 72 hours. How do we know? Because we pay scientists to smell body parts by the hour after a shower. With over 200,000 5-star reviews and a 60-day money-back guarantee, you can try Lumi risk-free.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code 25 and get an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack. LUMEdeodorant.com, code 25 for an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack. That's LUMEdeodorant.com, code 25.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they're very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They were in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
Critical thinking in critical times. This is St. Louis's home for conservative talk. 97.1 FM Talk. Everyone is welcome. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. It's Thursday, so we are going to bump up here in a second. Annie, are you okay? Trisha's in here to do that. I want to remind you of the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. What's the likelihood that Donald Trump wins the 2024 presidential election? Is it extremely likely? Is it possible? Not likely? Or not possible? You go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel, come say hi in the chat, and when you're in the chat of our live broadcast right now, you'll see that poll question up there, and you can vote. It's anonymous. I always want to say unanimous. Rarely is it unanimous.
It's 100%. It's extremely likely.
Yeah. Yesterday's vote, 315 votes, which is high for what we normally get. A few hundred votes on this poll. It was 315. And what was the poll question yesterday?
Team Gates or Team McCarthy.
And it was split.
Almost right down the middle.
Pretty crazy. So we want to know what you think about Donald Trump's ability to win the election in 2024. Want to know what you think? Leave your comments as well. We'll feature them.
And now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
Hi, Trisha.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. A 104-year-old Chicago woman becomes the oldest person to skydive. Age is just a number, Dorothy Hoffner told a cheering crowd moments after touching down at Skydive Chicago in Ottawa. Hoffner first skydived when she was 100. Now she's hoping the Guinness World Records will certify the jump, making her the oldest person to have ever skydived, a record previously set by a 103-year-old in Sweden in May of 2022. The question is, Annie, are you okay with skydiving?
The whole time I was not thinking in any way, shape, or form about, would I like to do that? I was thinking about, what if it were skydove?
I thought about that too. I had to look it up. Yeah. So skydive.
No, good job. Yeah, you dived into the pool.
Yeah.
Would you skydive, Ryan?
Yeah, I probably would do it. Although I say that after just this summer, I was standing on a platform that was just 2 stories high with a bungee cord on, and I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And it was not even that far.
Then why do you think you would skydive?
I don't know. I just
like someone tricks you into
somewhere,
getting into an airplane with a parachute on?
That's possible.
Somewhere deep down inside, there's this untapped potential that once I got up there, I'd find it and go, oh my gosh, I didn't even know this was here.
You'd wet
and then
your
I'd be able
pants.
to conquer everything while wetting my pants.
Where are you guys at on subscribers? I feel like...
Ooh, I'll jump 3 stories instead of 2.
Can we, where are
Calm
we
down, Ryan. It's not that bad.
Would you skydive, Brad?
No.
Would your heart allow you to?
Sure.
I'm going to need a little more convincing than that.
Let me consult.
Probably.
Yeah,
Brad
he says
has
it's
had
fine.
Don't tell the
3 heart
doctors.
attacks.
You guys know from our experience on Tower Terror, I don't like drops. But
Wait a second. That's right. You're not skydiving.
no, that's what you said. Would you skydive? I said no.
Okay.
You're like, would your heart allow it? Maybe. My brain won't, but my heart won't. It's not getting that far.
Doesn't even need to worry about my heart.
Yeah.
We're just talking about how I feel.
I do wonder, though, what, like, if jumping out of the plane has the same, because I notice whenever I fly, that
Like, by yourself or in a plane?
By myself in an airplane. Being in an
morning
airplane,
fly.
like heights don't bother me. I don't get the same feeling in an airplane that I do like if I were at the top of the arch looking out the window of the arch. It's something about the perspective that is different, and I wonder if jumping out of an airplane would have that because you don't have the ground is so far away that you don't have that, oh my gosh,
That's
I'm
the
going
idea.
to fall feeling. So I wonder, like, I actually kind of think maybe skydiving would be easier than bungee jumping. But
I've done that.
I'm still not
You
jumping out of a
bungee jumped?
perfectly
You know
good.
the Dragon's Wing thing at
Yeah, I'm
Six
not
Flags?
doing that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I've done that multiple times.
Have you?
Yeah.
I've never done it.
What an idiot. Me, not you. Well,
I kind of want to do it. No, I'm an idiot. Don't worry about it.
you would
Different
do
reasons.
I think I would do it. Yeah.
it? We get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the month. You and I will go do that together.
Oh man,
Yes.
10,000 by the end of October.
Yeah. That
All
would be
right.
so great for my channel and not happening that I will commit to it.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do it. That sounds fun. I've always wanted to do that, but it costs extra.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you got to pay. I
So-
don't know how I would handle that now because when I did it, I was in my 20s. And I mean, it was what we would always do when we went to Six Flags. I guess I would have done it in my teens. In high school, I did it. And then in college, there are a couple other places, maybe like Wisconsin Dells or something. I don't know where we went. Some sort of cantata church trip that we went on. And I'm not like a cave into peer pressure kind of person. But I really wanted to prove something to myself. It was like massive regret at the top. Massive regret.
Oh yeah,
I
you're up
made a
there. That's the worst
mistake.
part.
When I
It's
was
wild though.
When I was about 14, my parents took me to the Dells. They took me to that Wonder Spot place where all the stuff feels like it's tilted. You walk into a house and you feel like it's tilted and all
It
that.
just got you drunk.
And and they tell you, well, it's because there's a magnet on the other side of the valley and all this stuff. And I was like, I don't know if that's true. And then once I got older, I found out, oh, it's all because it's just built
Here's
that
what
way.
we'll do. We'll take Ryan to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And when we get him, we'll give him a little something, and we'll just take him in a room and we'll tell him it's a fun house and he'll believe us.
So I took my kids up there. There's a different one, a different location. And I was like, I can't wait to trick them. And they're 7. They're like, oh, it's just because it's built that way. I was like, dang it. I was 14 and I didn't even know that.
Aren't you glad, though, that the next generation is just a little bit ahead?
Nah, not really.
You really wanted to pull that
I
one
wanted
over
to pull,
on
yeah.
him. No skydiving. Definitely no. None of it.
There is now a college degree for social influencers. A first-of-its-kind college major will teach Spotlight hopefuls the art of influencing and content creation in just 3 years. However, for now, the program is only available at Southeast Technological University in Carlow, Ireland. Other schools like...
Quite a jaunt for something you
I
could
know,
Google.
you really have to be committed to this.
Can you do it by Zoom? No, you got to be in person for it.
No, you have to be in Ireland. Other schools like USC, Cornell, Duke, and Chapman have offered one-off courses, but this will be the first time, excuse me, the career path has been laid out for a full college degree. Annie, are you okay with social influencing as a major?
I think it's curmudgeon-y to act like this is not a thing. But if you're, I am paid to influence people to get your, product or service from this place because I think it's the best. Now, there has to be a level of trust that you as a listener have with me when I put my name next to something, that when I say you should go to Ruler Foods because you're going to save money, if you go to Ruler Foods and you don't save money, you're going to say, well, that's hogwash. Like, there has to be substance behind it. I take that very seriously. There's a potential cart before the horse situation here. I mean, generally speaking, influencers were famous or notable or known for something else first. And then you were able to bring in the idea that you would influence people to make purchases certain ways. But I also see a lot of people influencing in really dumb ways. So maybe I don't think that. I think that we have to be smart about how we go forward in the future and how you protect yourself and how you represent yourself and other brands. I think that that's all good. But I need to care about the person or like trust the person before I'm going to take their advice on something, especially knowing that they're paid to say it. And
it seems like the kind of degree where young people would say, ooh, I'm going to do this because a lot of people are doing it and getting really rich and famous, but it takes a certain type of person or kind of a stroke of luck to have that happen anyway. I don't know. It seems like a money grab.
To me, like social media influencing and looking at that as a career path, it looks like there's a lot of people that are making a lot of money on it, but there's so many people that have access to social media, that have social media accounts that just aren't. It's a perception of access, but unlike TV, you actually can get access to the platforms. And so I think that's why people see it as more of a career path than it actually might be.
I want to draw attention to Amanda's comment. She says, it's going to take 3 years to learn to influence, which when you think about that, like, wouldn't you feel a little sold on the idea of going to influencer school? Like, who influenced you to go to influencer school, and who made you believe it would take you 3 years to learn how to do it? Somebody else should come be an influencer for 2-year influencer school.
But if they can convince you of that, then you're getting your money's worth because, dang.
Yeah, that's true.
No,
Let me convince you to go to 10-year school.
No, just because you can be convinced of something doesn't mean you're getting your money's worth, because if that just means they're getting their money's.
Well, they're able to do what they're saying because they are definitely able to influence
But there's
you.
no promise that they're going to be able to teach you how to do what they're
That's
saying.
on you for learning it.
Welcome to your first day. I'm Professor Durr. Welcome to your 12 next years.
I'm probably more okay with it than people would have thought I would be, but
I'm only signing you up as Professor Durr.
Airbnb guest has been squatting in luxury home for 500 days. A woman in California is being dubbed the tenant from hell after refusing to leave a long-term Airbnb rental. The woman booked a stay at a guest home in 2021 but refused to vacate the property after the 6-month window. Per the local rent stabilization ordinance out there, the homeowner cannot legally evict her. This woman isn't completely unreasonable, though. She says she will vacate the property if the homeowner pays a relocation fee of $100,000.
Gosh.
She's
holding their home ransom.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
That's amazing.
Annie, are you okay with Airbnb versus traditional hotels?
no, I've never stayed in one, so I don't say this from a place of experience, but I've seen a lot of Airbnb horror stories, the expectations of what you have to do when you stay. And again, no experience, just what I've seen from the influencers on the internet. I'll just take a clean transaction with a hotel where you have there's an expectation there of something that's bigger than just like one person's whim. I'm a hotel girl. It's more than not having an interest in staying one. I have an aversion of
Really?
thought of staying in an Airbnb.
Airbnbs used to be great, but the government is starting to catch up to them now. Anytime the technology outpaces the government, it's good for a while, but the government's starting to catch up.
We're getting our hands on this now.
Yeah, they're taking their cut and cracking down on everything. Whenever the term squatting comes up, does anybody else picture somebody in a home actually squatting?
Probably not the same way you do. No.
As I do. Either doing a squat or popping a squat.
Working out.
Yeah.
The average person eats 180 slices of pizza a year. A new poll has found the average American eats at least 180 slices of pizza per year. The Americans can eat about 5 slices in a single setting, and they eat pizza at least 3 times in any given
The average
month.
person eats 5 pieces of pizza in a sitting?
According to this poll that was done by pizzasthebest.com.
I am a 2 pieces, or am I going to eat 3 pieces person? Like, if I'm eating 3 pieces of pizza, I was hungry, and I made a decision to go all in.
I'm eating 2 if you guys are watching. I'm eating 5 if you're not.
You can eat 5 pieces of pizza?
I'm eating 5 if you're watching, and probably more if you're not.
5 in my mouth, 5 in my coat pocket. I'm out.
I was just wondering if you're okay with this math.
I just fold it in half like a taco and eat it like that.
I'm under that average.
Do you eat pizza about 3 times a month? Is that right?
I would say 3 or 4 times easily with kids. It's a weekend thing for us. Generally speaking, pizza shows up somewhere because it's just the easiest thing to do. But a lot of times when we order pizza for the kids, Jared and I will get wings or salads or wings.
I trust that poll. Pizza's the best. Polls tend to have really good methods and models, so I'll trust that one.
Obviously.
Yep. Now, yummypizza.com. Don't use their polls. They're terrible.
Don't go
don't
to that
use those
website.
polls.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
You're right. I
We're
just
not
made it up.
responsible on the
It's
show
not a real
for wherever he
website.
just sent people. Do it. It's not okay.
They do not include, oddly, pizza's the best polls in the Real Clear Politics average.
You guys want another one?
Yep.
All right. A woman is suing Disney after a water slide caused a painful wedgie.
Ooh, must be real painful.
And severe injuries.
I
This
mean-
happened in 2019 at Typhoon Lagoon. The suit filed last week accuses Disney of negligence and neither adequately warning riders of the injury risk nor providing protective clothing. It claims at least $50,000 in damages. Before sliding down, riders are instructed to cross their ankles in order to lessen the risk of injury. The woman says she began the ride as instructed, but was forced airborne, causing her legs to become uncrossed. This was a very, very nasty situation. I do feel bad for this woman. Annie, are you okay with fast water slides?
I wouldn't do the super tall fast water slides. No, if there's a tube that you can sit in, that's kind of like I can handle it if I'm sitting in a tube, but I don't like the body slides. And I get all these Disney news stories, and more than 9 out of 10 of them are stupid. This woman deserves every penny that she gets.
It's terrible.
When you find out, and I'm glad you didn't articulate here what actually happened to her. Bad. And you can look it up, but I wish that I wouldn't have.
At pizzaisthebest.com.
No.
Not yummy pizza.
No.
No.
Stop it. And go into some Illuminati stuff, and we're going to be responsible for it. Knock it off.
All right, that's all I got.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Do you guys water slides? Where are you at on water slides?
I'm a big fan
of anything.
Of water slides, yeah, big fan.
Higher the better? Faster the better?
Faster the better. If it's high, make it enclosed so that I can't see out.
So you can
I don't
bounce
know.
around in the
claustrophobia
Yeah.
No,
of a water
that
slide.
doesn't bother
When
me.
it's shooting up in your face and you can't see
Dude,
anything.
I went down
Ugh.
these things when I was 330 pounds. A, momentum is a thing, and I flew. But B, like I'm not
actually sounds
scared.
awesome.
Like there was a part of me when I was that big. It's like if I hit a spot and it just goes, whoop, my head's up here and the water's gonna back up and I'm gonna drown.
You know what always makes me nervous on those is just like they
More
didn't
than
seal they didn't seal one of the seams real well and you hit it on your back.
Ooh, yeah.
And it just like that stuff. That's what scares me about water slides. Nothing else. Just the enclosure, the water in the face, and the random seam they didn't
Stop
seal.
splashing.
Yeah,
you
that's
wuss.
it. Everything
I don't
else
know
I'm
that
fine.
this show could be more 40. It's like,
Ouch, my moles.
no,
That one's gonna hurt the bunion.
not okay.
To answer your question, I love water rides.
Water rides or water slides?
Fast
Both.
water slides.
I want to go to that whatever it is down in Texas that has the water coasters.
Oh, they have those at Holiday World.
Schlitterbahn or something.
Schlitterbahn, I think.
Schlitterbahn, yeah.
I've never even heard of that. No.
It's like the world's largest water park.
All right, when we come back, I'm excited about this. We have a band coming in the studio. Band is called Where's Dave? And let's see, a week from tomorrow, a night of rock stars. I was so privileged to MC this event last year. I'm going to be MCing it again this year on Friday. Brad's going to be there and his wife, and my husband's going to go. And it is one of the coolest nights in the bi-state region throughout the course of the year. Where's Dave plays it, and we're going to hear from them. Are they going to play a song? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, that's what they said.
This is totally
They're bringing a guitar in.
unusual for us, and we're just going to flow with it and see what happens. And if it goes bad, then we'll just have Ryan do some Lil Jon.
What?
You ready?
Yeah.
You can practice on the break.
I'll do that when they play regardless. Don't tell them I'm going to do it.
Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. Where's Dave in studio? Which kind of seems like a contradiction when we come back.
It was time to forget you forever.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
All lots about
Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
pain. It's all about forgiving and the will to walk away.
Well, speaking of being 40, I was talking to some soccer dads last night about Fountain's Family Dentistry. It just came up. We were talking, well, they brought up that they're just not sleeping very well. And my eyes lit up. I'm like, oh, I'm going to read to you alive right in person here at the soccer stadium. It was great because they asked questions that I don't normally hit on the radio. Just things like, well, what does it feel like to wear it? You know, it's made to fit your mouth. So this isn't something you can go buy generically and just wear it. This is something that Dr. Ty Parker at Fountain's Family Dentistry will make molded to fit your teeth and your mouth so that you really don't notice that you're wearing it. But you do wake up, and I've told this story before, but it's been a long time, that the first time I ever wore it, I think it was in my late 20s, that I was just not getting sleep. I didn't even know I had sleep apnea until he told me to get checked, and I did, and I had it. And then I woke up after wearing it for the first time at 4:30 in the morning and went, oh my gosh, I'm fully rested. I haven't felt fully rested in ages. So I'm looking forward to you getting one of these and having that same experience, waking up in the morning way before you even need to and realizing that you were not getting the sleep you need, but that this has instantly fixed it. Tell me those stories. I'd love to hear them. FountainsFamilyDentistry.com is the website you go to make an appointment. It all starts there, and they walk you through the process very easily. FountainsFamilyDentistry.com.
What's up, everybody? I'm Danny Parkins, based out of Chicago. This is my buddy Andrew Filipponi. He's based out of Pittsburgh. You really got to check out our podcast, First and Pod.
Twice a week, we're going to break down the NFL after Thursday Night Football and Sunday Night Football. It's every team. It's every game. It's all 32 teams. We give you a complete picture, and we get into it. We don't kiss each other's fannies on this show.
New episodes of First and Pod available when you wake up every Monday and Friday morning throughout the football season in the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898 or biglou.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Fall is here. Make sure your furnace is ready to safely heat your home when cold weather arrives. Get in your comfort zone with the heating system check. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Download the Odyssey app to listen to 97.1 FM Talk and find content that moves you. Anytime, anywhere. The Odyssey app for 97.1 FM Talk on the go. This is the Annie Frey Show.
Well, I'm gonna pick up some of these empties, Lord, as soon as I find where they lay. Tied off them jolly and leaving mines on a long hot summer day. And for every day I'm working on the Illinois River, get a half a day off with pay. Oh, towboat picking up barges on a long hot summer day.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We appreciate you being with us this Thursday afternoon. The studio is very full right now, and I've been told that the band is Where's Dave, but they're all right here. So if I know the answer to the question, do we even need to ask the question? Well, of course we do. Where's Dave is the band that plays Night of Rock Stars. I want you to go to nightofrockstars.com. This is an event that I have emceed last year. I'm going to be emceeing it again this year. And in studio, we've got the whole band. Why don't you just introduce the band and the folks who are in here right now for everybody listening right now at home?
Sure. Thanks, Annie. And thanks for having us.
You
we
bet.
Really appreciate you.
Yeah.
My name is Mike Belovich. We have Riley Clark. We've got Greg Briskovich. We've got Colin Briskovich in the back. Not here. We have Brian Greeling. We have Jim and Gina Clark.
Okay. It's a big band.
It is. Yeah, it is. It's a good time.
Jim and Gina's Riley's mom and dad. So
Yeah.
I played with them probably 20 years ago when she was not even around yet.
Oh yeah. Well, I remember last year being. Well, first let's do this in the proper order here. Night of Rock Stars is a wonderful one. Of course, I endorse Jen Teskey of Remax Alliance. This is an event that's put on by like all of Remax Alliance. You work with Remax Alliance as well? Is that correct, Mike?
Correct.
So talk to me about the genesis of Night of Rock Stars and what it's built itself into.
Sure. So Night of Rock Stars is a night. Actually, I'll back up. You met Rick and Tammy Owens, our owners. In 2018, I gave Tammy a call and I said, Tammy, I have this idea because we wanted to do some kind of a charity. We're Remax Alliance to raise money for the kids. And I said, what if we did something called Night of Rock Stars and we treated the kids like rock stars for the day.
Yeah.
And, hair and makeup, and they have managers. And then at night, the finale is they get to sing live with the band. Mm-hmm. And Tammy immediately said, I like it. And from 2018, this will be our fourth one. So Night of Rock Stars is 12 children that we treat like I said, like rock stars for the day. They have hair and makeup. They have the red carpet. They sign autographs, and at the end of the night, they get to perform a song that they choose. Now, in 4 years, we've never said no to a song that we will perform live. And as you know from last year, we do everything from the Eagles to songs from Disney movies to Broadway to Katrina and the Waves. To
You Are My Sunshine, which broke me in two pieces.
Heard you talk about that.
Oh my gosh, I'll never forget it.
Well, thank you. That was it, and that's Greg Briskovich here. He has never told me no when I said, "Hey, we have to learn a song."
Figure this out. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first year for sure. It was, what are we doing? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm not even sure how to do that, but we figure it out some way, somehow.
So the children they face specific challenges. They're special needs children. And, I have these people in my life. I have some very dear, my best friends were faced with a child who has some of these challenges. And what the children go through and what the families as a whole go through, they're so strong and they are resilient, but it is a challenge for everybody involved. And Night of Rock Stars is the biggest, warmest hug, not just for the children, but especially for the children, but for the families. And there are children who would go up on that stage and sing with you guys, perform with you guys. And there are other ones who were not able to specifically sing or play an instrument, but there maybe it is You Are My Sunshine. It's a special song to that family, to that child. And it's like the world stops turning for a minute and these kids get to be at the center of everything. And it's just absolutely wonderful.
The word heartwarming is the word I keep using to describe it throughout the years. It's just unbelievable.
And it is, Annie. We get to treat them like rock stars for the day, and we all get to go home back to our normal lives after. But it's hard 24/7 for those families. So those families and those children are definitely rock stars.
Yeah, and it's a formal affair. I remember when you all were going to play You Are My Sunshine, I remember like not being able to swallow. And I'm just like going up the stairs, down the stairs, up the stairs because I'm working the event. I'm emceeing along with you, Mike. And I would go off to the side. You guys would perform. I'd come back up. And you started playing it. Like I get choked up thinking about it right now. And I just got this lump in my throat and I almost couldn't breathe. This is a song I sing to my kids, except for my third, I sing You Are My Moonshine. And if you know her, you probably understand why. And I looked at my husband who was sitting at the table across the way. And we just looked at each other like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic. And usually by now it's sold out. And from what I understand, there are a few tables that are made available right now for people who might want to attend.
Yes, we still have a few tables available. If you'd like to attend, please go to Night of Rockstars, nightofrockstars.com, or call Remax Alliance office 618-345-2111.
345-2111.
Yes.
618.
618.
All right.
Yes,
we will share that information.
Thank you.
Usually it's sold out by now, but they opened up the entire convention center this year. I think there's 117 tables now, which was quite a few more than before.
There's a silent auction.
Yeah.
Yes, silent auction, live auction, and I heard that Ryan's going to sing.
Yeah, fantastic.
I heard there was an auction for him not to sing.
I put that
He's like,
in there.
you guys better pay up.
Mike came in here and he said, I heard you. I didn't get to the chance to hear you sing before. And I said, yeah, Holy Night. He goes, I heard it was Unholy Night.
Hey, you guys joke, but we make a lot of money keeping me off the mic.
I can believe that.
So, Mike, you guys are the band for the evening, and you're a very, very talented band. And from what I understand, you guys are going to do something here.
Greg and Riley are going to do a very familiar song called Landslide.
Okay.
And thank you again for having us.
Absolutely. Go ahead. Take it away.
I took my love and I took it down. I climbed a mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills where the landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Afraid of changing, 'cause I've built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I have built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. Oh, I'm getting older. Take my love and take it down. Oh, climb a mountain and turn around. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, well, the landslide will bring you down. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, well, the
Oh, man, that's so good, Riley. I'm going to tell you what. And I think, I know, Ryan, you probably understand this too. Acoustically.
As a singer.
As a singer. No, rude. To sing into a microphone like that in a studio like this, live, is a very difficult thing to do. And you nailed every single note.
Yeah, there's no processing. There's just completely wrong. I've heard real bands
20 years old
play their own songs and sound bad in studio like
for
this.
Sure.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. Everything about it is great. The event is Night of Rockstars. You can go to nightofrockstars.com. And I want to make sure that you understand the whole point of this. Of course, it's to recognize these children and their families, these children who have special challenges that they face, special needs that they live with and thrive with. And it's a night for RE/MAX Alliance has put this together to wrap their arms around these children and their families. But they use all of this, and they do a very good job of raising funds. And these funds, all the proceeds from the 2023 Night of Rockstars is going to benefit Children's Miracle Network and Refuge, a local charity that helps distressed family. Mike, give me just a little bit of your experience of the monies that are raised and the causes that they go to benefit.
Yes. So our goal this year is to raise $100,000. That's what we did last year.
That is a huge goal.
It is.
And
yes.
you've done it before.
We did it last year. Absolutely. Yeah. And we had 2 local charities and we split it 50-50. And it's just amazing when we get to present the checks to these local charities. I believe Refuge, it's refugeforkids.com. That's in Wood River. It's just amazing. I mean, it makes all the prep and everything. It just makes it worthwhile. It's just such an amazing feeling to be able to give back to the communities.
I've been involved in a lot of different charity events. I've emceed a lot of them. I've keynotes spoken at different events that are meant to be fundraisers. And when I talk about Night of Rockstars, as an MC, I am doing that with my time. I'm not getting anything out of it. I get to go in there and not buy a ticket for myself, but there's no compensation for that. And that it really, the way RE/MAX Alliance has everybody, all hands on deck, participating in this, so that every penny of this amazing night. I mean, the night is so fun. The food is fantastic. It's a formal event. How often do you get to go to a formal event these days? So it's very fun to get all dressed up and to be around people for such a great cause. But RE/MAX Alliance does such a good job of making sure that every penny possible goes to the kids. It's a true, honest, charitable cause.
Yes, thank you. And everybody donates their time, including the band, the photographers, everyone. So
Yeah.
and you, so thank you.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so honored to be a part of it. And I will be there again. It's a week from tomorrow in Collinsville at the Gateway Convention Center. And it's such an honor to be a part of it. And I would really love for you to go there. And if you were there, make sure you come say hello. Go to nightofrockstars.com to get tickets, to get access to tickets. You can also call RE/MAX Alliance at 618-345-2111. That's 618-345-2111. I said that right, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Mike, thank you.
Thank you.
Great to be here with you, Riley. Beautiful job. Just thank you, everybody, for being in here.
Thanks for having us.
We're looking forward to seeing you here in a week.
Thank you.
All right, let's stick around. We'll get the answers to the YouTube live chat poll right here on the Annie Frey Show when we come back.
Hot summer day, or every day I'm working on the Illinois River. Get a half a
This
day
is the
off
Annie Frey Show.
picking up barges.
Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show. Your home has made you equity rich on paper, and you're planning on using that cash to retire, travel, or just downsize into a new place that's paid off. Good for you. But the longer you wait, the greater chance higher interest rates could chip away at your home's value. While your home value is still high, the time to act is now with TrueHold. TrueHold buys your home now, and you can stay in your home for as long as you want. TrueHold buys your home for its best current value, and you bank the cash. Cash to do whatever you like, while TrueHold takes care of property taxes, insurance, and upkeep. Don't miss this opportunity to cash in on your equity and stay in your home as long as you'd like as a renter. Visit TrueHold.com and discover how much TrueHold will buy your home for today based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's TrueHold.com.
St. Louis physician Dr. Abicki created Neovitin 15 years ago to help support his own nutrition when he needed it most. Since then, Neovitin has helped thousands of people support their daily nutrition with sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and Dr. Rubicki's proprietary blend. If you're ready to join many St. Louisans in supporting their nutrition, give Neovitin a try. You can find Neovitin at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
You can get a steak like nowhere else at Andrea's Steakhouse in Fairview Heights, Illinois. This is Ryan Wiggins. I'm just telling you because I have grown up eating their steaks and their steak sauce on basically everything. We are an Andrea's family. Now, you can get cuts at the restaurant, though, that you can't get by just going to the store. That's another reason that you need to visit Andrea's restaurant. It says on their website right there on the front page that we pride ourselves in serving hand-cut steaks that are brushed with our award-winning Andrea's Brush on Steak Sauce. So, yes, you can take the sauce home, and you should, but if you want to know how to perfect it, go there first. Go to Andrea's Steakhouse in Fairview Heights, Illinois, and eat from their limited menu. I know it's a weird thing to tout that their menu is limited, but that means that everything they do is perfect. So go there and then take Andrea's steak sauce home with you and try to emulate what they do there in the restaurant. That's why they make it available to you. Their barbecue sauce is new. Their salad dressing they've had for a little while too. You need to get the trifecta. Take them all home with you, and you can start at andreas.com.
Hey, it's Bo Matthews, and if invasive plants and trees have overtaken your pasture, roads, trails, or dams, then you need Missouri Brush Control. Their special forestry mulching equipment helps landowners reclaim their property. Enjoy your land like you've always dreamed of. To learn more, visit MissouriBrushControl.com.
Hey, the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll of the day is, what is the likelihood that Donald Trump wins the 2024 election? This is a poll that moves, so we like to ask what you think as time goes by, and as time will continue to go by. Is it extremely likely, possible, not likely, or not possible? We'll discuss the results of that poll, and if you want to sneak in your vote, do that right now at our YouTube page, the Annie Frey YouTube page. The time right now is 2:47. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Paul Morrow is back with us, retired NYPD inspector.
Look, it's a sideshow. Very clearly now we've got a clash of egos between Trump and this judge.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
It's a beautiful night. We're looking for something dumb to do. Hey, baby, I think I want to marry you. Is it the look in your eyes, or is it this dancing juice? Who cares, baby? I think I want to marry you. Well, I know this little chapel on the boulevard.
How long have you been married, Ryan?
16 years.
16 years.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get married in 08? 7. I've been married that long, too. September. 16. When were you married? How long have you been married, Brad?
I would be one less than you, so guys, 15.
So when you think about your, wedding and the party and everything, if you had to do it again today, would you do it completely differently, or would you not change a thing?
I think I'd try to do the exact same thing because we nailed it.
I wouldn't change a thing.
Really?
It was awesome. I think I would be less fat, but outside of that, I wouldn't change a thing.
I'd be more fat. That's what I would change.
Oh man, our wedding reception was wonderful. It was fantastic. I don't know that I would change much about it, but I just view weddings so differently at 39 than I did at 23 when I got married.
Man, my absolute favorite part to this day, and it was then, it is now, of any wedding is the best man / bridesmaid of honor speech, because they're either so awkward that they're enjoyable or they get up there and they absolutely nail it. But either way, that is what I'm waiting for at every wedding.
It's kind of the one thing that is going to be super unique to that specific wedding.
That too.
Because everything else is a version of the things you do at a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
But if you know the bride, or if you know the groom, or maybe you know them both, when you get to hear these people that are selected to make that speech, it does bring a certain kind of specificity to that specific wedding. Have you ever heard any that were absolutely any maid of honor speeches or best man speeches that were absolutely horrendously, embarrassingly awful?
I think I've heard a couple where somebody was so drunk that they were just falling through it and saying things that you shouldn't say.
I've seen that.
But I don't. Yeah, I think so. It's been a long time though.
I actually think the person wasn't drunk enough.
Maybe.
I think that they should, because it would have been more of an excuse.
You know what's the best is when they get halfway through those and they're doing so bad, and you're like, dude, you could just wrap this up anytime, and then they go another 5-10 minutes. Like, oh
You're
no.
in the back of the room like, wrap.
Have you been a best man?
Yeah.
How many times?
I think just one.
How'd you do with your speech?
I think I did pretty well.
Yeah?
I mean, no complaints.
Were you funny?
No, it was super heartfelt, Annie.
Well, you could be funny. You could be funny and heartfelt.
It was a little bit of both, but I would say I leaned on the humor a bit.
You did?
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes you'll expect that of somebody who tends to lean into comedy.
Yeah.
And they'll get up there and they'll be really super serious and sincere. And there's nothing wrong with that. And then there are other people who you might know them. This is my favorite. When you think that they're like super sincere, serious people, and you're like, oh my gosh, they're funny.
Yeah. You know what the key to those is? Don't make it about yourself.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
You've got to shine the spotlight on the people who are there getting married. That is your purpose.
Your best man or maid of honor speech is not the historical resume of how you know this person.
Yeah, and you have to include some of that just to give a background. But the whole point is, let me tell you something about the character or the background or some story you didn't know about my friend who's sitting right here.
I think that the point of the toast is to take the marriage and celebrate it in a way that acknowledges. I mean, I don't know. If as a Christian person, I would think like what God has put together, that you want to acknowledge and celebrate that. And of course, when you're acknowledging like, how did we get to here? You're going to tell some stories. But I mean, it's such a rip and read speech to give, to be like, I grew up with my sister and she was mean to me, and now I get to have the microphone and you can't stop me from saying what I mean, it's like, no, I'm going to stop. I'm going to physically come up and stop you. I'm going to take this microphone and bump you in the head with it and say, you're done. Sit down.
Go sit down.
Merriam-Webster defines marriage as the union between two people. And that is why we're here today.
I feel like that's how Ryan would do a best man speech.
I should.
He subverts expectations. He goes out there and he gives the most dry, boring one ever, and that's the joke.
No eye contact, straight down the whole time.
Completely plausible.
It is probably what I would do today.
YouTube live chat poll on the Annie Frey YouTube channel right now. What is the likelihood that Donald Trump wins the 2024 election? Not what do you want, not what do you feel. What's going to happen? Is it extremely likely? Is it possible? Is it not likely? Or is it not possible? Brad, you first. What's the likelihood Trump wins the election?
Possible. It is possible, and I feel like possible on this list is the second highest amount. So possible.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's extremely likely, but possible, and it seems like a little bit farther we go, a little bit more possible it becomes because Joe Biden is on the struggle bus.
That is a nice way to put that.
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I'm going to say extremely likely.
Extremely likely that Trump wins the 2024 election.
Yeah, as opposed to other Republicans. I don't want to be saying this, but I think he uniquely turns out voters who don't vote. And in this election, that is going to matter.
But equally on both sides of the issue.
Well, I don't know anymore. I
statement.
really just don't know if that's going to be the case for Biden. I don't know that people are going to turn out to vote against Trump because they might go, you know what? I don't even really support the alternative enough to vote against Trump.
Yeah, but the alternative might be RFK Jr. or Mr. and Mrs. No Labels.
But if that's the case, then Trump walks away with this thing, because if those people are showing up to vote for a third party.
Not RFK.
Everybody who I thought that initially, and when I was reading the reaction when he announced his potential independent run, Republicans and Trump people melting down about how detrimental this is going to be to Trump.
It could be. I just don't think that if you're in the Trump category, I think RFK's your populist. He's your anti-government kind of guy. That's a Trump lane already. I just don't think that's going to pull from Trump as much as we think it will.
as much as you think it will.
Much as we think it will. I'm projecting that onto you all.
It's not going to pull from Trump as much as you think it will, but it's not going to pull from Biden supporters at all.
I just think any alternative to Biden who's viable, whether it be Joe Manchin or Andrew Yang or anybody.
Yeah, but a Joe Manchin or an Andrew Yang pulls
Cornel
from
West.
Biden. West pulls from Biden. RFK is, if he pulls from anybody, it'll be Trump.
I don't know. I think it's people who may not vote for Trump.
That should be your poll tomorrow.
Who may want to vote for Trump, but they just wouldn't do it anyway. That's those people.
Dirk says Trump will not win the Boston Marathon. Kenny says, I don't know. Depends on who the Dem candidate is. Biden has a good chance of winning. Anyone else would be likely to win. Chris says, extremely likely. More than ever, I believe the common sense JFK Dems will cross over. So Chris agrees with Ryan there. The YouTube live chat poll for today is, what is the likelihood that Donald Trump wins the 2024 election? 6% said not possible. 13% said not likely. 36% say extremely likely, and 45% say, hey, this is possible. Thanks for voting today. Stick around. The Mark Reardon Show up next.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon getting ready for a Thursday show. The Biden administration is waiving federal laws to allow border wall construction. If only someone would have thought of that.